Hey. Good evening. Good Sunday evening, everybody. I hope you're all having a great night. And we're back, guys. I keep wanting to talk about this case and I keep missing it. So here we are, guys. We're going to talk about the Oklahoma missing moms and see what's going on with that tonight and just have a general talk, guys. It's Sunday night. Let's do that thing and hang out for a little while, guys. Thank you for joining me, and we're off. Here we go. What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Happy Sunday night again. You guys got me the whole weekend. That's been awesome. Get to hang out with you, awesome peeps, the entire weekend. I love it, love it, love it. My wife is sleeping and my son is watching wrestling. So you're stuck with me, guys. Come on in, grab a seat, get comfortable. And again, I keep trying to talk about this Oklahoma case, and we get so wrapped up with Sebastian, I don't get a chance to. So here we are, and once we're gonna talk about that and just general conversation, because I miss you guys when I'm not in here with you guys. So it is what it is, and I appreciate you guys joining me for it very much. I hope you're all having a great night, and again, I hope I'm not pulling anybody away from anything of any importance. Just to hang out with little old me. So thank you for being here. Come on in, grab a seat, grab some coffee, tea, a blanket, a pillow, whatever you want to grab, guys. It's a little late, but hey, here we are. Let's do this thing. So let's see who we got with us on this awesome Sunday night. Looks like 12 is in the house. A reptile wildfire. Welcome. Good to see you. Good to have you here. Gwen Red, thank you for joining us. Miss Bonnie, welcome back, dear. Always happy to see you. Sunshine's in the house. Welcome back to you. Starless Starbright, love your name. Welcome. Good to see you. Miss Victoria, hello. Thank you for joining me tonight. Tech Death Hippie, what is up, brother? I gotta get work talk to you, sir. I really do. Doodlebug's in the house. What's going on, Doodle? Good to see you tonight. Thank you for joining me, dearie. I appreciate you very much. It's so weird to be able to hang out with you guys on a Sunday night. So weird. There's Miss Cassie. Hello. How are you, Cassie? Good to see you tonight, dear. Tina B, welcome back to you. Always a pleasure to see you, man. Miss Wisdom Speaks. Always happy to see you as well. Thank you so much for being here. My brother Faux Popper, what is going on? Dan, good to see you tonight, sir. Hope you're having a great weekend. Thank you for joining us. La 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 la. Let me see. I'm sure there's not many in here. Group, what's going on? Good to see you. Great to have you here tonight. Did I miss Victoria Sunshine? Come on in, guys, if you will, please. Miss B. Williams, welcome back. Kate Pruitt, great to see you. I think I said 12, but hey, welcome. Again, 12, great to see you. The Canadian Cat Lady, welcome back, man. Great to see you tonight. Goodness gracious almighty. Miss Bonnie became a member again, staying in that sauce. Welcome back, Miss Bonnie. Great to have you here with us. CZ, welcome back to you. Great to see you. And FT, welcome back. Great to see you tonight. That's it so far. Come on in, guys. Grab a seat if you can. Did they both go missing the same day or no? We're gonna get into that here. Just a few. Excuse me. Sorry. Starlight. Or Starbright. I'm sorry. Where'd you go? I just saw your comment and you disappeared. Guys, if you will, please share this out. If you can, anybody you think would want to jump in here with us, please do. Appreciate that very much. Again, Bonnie, welcome back to the sauce. Where did your comment go? Starla, there we are. Yeah, I do believe they did. I was just oh, Salty, welcome. And Salty says yes, they were together. Well, thank you, Salty. Yeah, they were together from my understanding too. I was just gonna show it all to you with the details of it, but no biggie, no baddie, no problem. How you doing tonight, Salty? Reptile Wildfire, everybody that just jumped in, thank you for joining us. I think I got everybody. We got 46 peeps in here, guys. Please, if you can, hit the like button on the way through the door. Wild Hairs, what's going on? Good to see you. Supposedly, Rock Chalk is down there or something. Down where? Well, Oklahoma, I think. Probably, yeah. I gotcha. Or no, I thought she lived around the Kansas City area. In the same car, Miss B. Williams says. Okay, well, we're gonna get into it, guys. I haven't had a chance. I've checked it out, but I have not had a chance to like go over it with you guys because I like doing that. It's interesting. It's another crazy scenario. So before victims first, yes, it is a too many people missing everywhere. I could come in here and sit in here all day long and cover missing persons cases all day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and still not even put a small dent in it, you guys. That's how bad it is. Traveling from Kansas to okay. Gotcha. Okay. Thank you, B. Starla, okay, thanks. They were together. It's even more odd that someone would take the both of them unless it's well, I mean, yeah, that is definitely interesting. They disappeared state line, Kansas and Oklahoma. Oh, okay. She's out there, boots on the ground. That's awesome. Good deal, Rock Talk. That's very cool. Debbie Clark, welcome back. Yeah, I know one of them's a pastor's wife. That's pretty sad. It's sad regardless, but Tomboy, welcome back, dear. Good to see you. Barbara, welcome. Manum, manum. Do, 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 do. Manum, manum. It is very scary. It's very scary because we can every day we wake up, there's somebody new. There's something new, a new situation where somebody's gone missing or something's going on. You know what I mean? Welcome back, Kaylee. Good to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Do 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 do. Exactly, Cassie. Manum manum. Wow. Okay, got you. Let's see. Salty says a mother was going to pick up her kids, meeting that, yeah, the grandmother, the pastor wife, was helping Veronica custody dispute. And it makes you wonder, you know, that was one of the first thoughts I had. Welcome back, Robert. Good to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. Very much appreciate you guys jumping in here. Like I said, I was bored. I was missing you guys, honestly. And I realized again earlier that I still hadn't got to talk about this. So, and I want to put the word out as best I can. Apton Forward, welcome back. Good to see you. Uh, Paula Lamore. Sorry, I didn't have my glasses. Welcome. Great to have you guys here. Yes, I saw that too, Gwen. Um, Let me see something here. Let me pull this up for you guys. Come on in, everybody. Get comfortable if you can. The Jersey Lady won. Welcome back. Good to see you tonight. Thank you, Miss Sherry. Please, guys, if you can, make sure you hit that like button as you come through the door, so we can get this in the algorithm. Got to get these cases out there so everybody can see them. Welcome back, Jilly Bean. Great to see you tonight. Oh, okay. That's crazy. Thank you for the input, Cat Lady. I appreciate that. Hiromi, no, welcome. How are you tonight? Tracy again, welcome back. Little by little, come on in, everybody. We got 61 peeps in here. Please, please, as you're coming through, hit that like button. It is terrifying, actually. Canadian Cat Lady says, I remember so many years ago, there was a kidnapping of an adult female who was out shopping, and how he got her was by shooting out the parking lot lights above the parking spots so that she couldn't be seen. That's crazy. People go to these extents that they go to harm people is so sad. Salty says, and this was an extremely rural location. The car was approximately 3 miles from their destination. Right. Which states to me that they had to have been being followed. Somebody knows what's going on at that point. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give you guys the best I can on this one, and I'll be doing some digging for sure. I'm gonna have to be. Miss Jilly Bean says, I hit the thumbs up. Did you, or the like button? I know I did. I don't even like me. How about that? Yes, they really do, Salty. It's so scary too. There's so many people out there that do these crazy, horrible things, and it scares you because it's scary because we don't know who they are. Like you could be sitting in a movie theater next to somebody that could be a complete and total sociopath or psychopath. You know what I mean? You don't know. Or in a restaurant sitting across at another table from somebody that's a serial killer. You know what I'm saying? We just don't know, you guys, and that's what the scary part is. I didn't leave my DNA, but I used Molly. So hey, whatever works. Where is Miss Molly? Trish Crow, welcome. Good to have you here. There isn't any more NFT. There's no regard for human life. There's no regard for authority. There's no fear of consequence anymore. People just don't care, and it's very sad. There's a good amount of good people out there. I do have faith in that, but there's so many that just don't have regard for anything anymore. It's very sad. Welcome, Sammy Research. Thank you for joining us tonight. Um, Oh, I know, Salty. You never, ever, ever are without. You're always busy covering these cases. Come on in, everybody. Please grab a seat. It's hard to trust anyone. 12, truly, truly. No reason to get mad about it because it's the way things are nowadays. Yeah, I think that's what I was thinking earlier too when I was reading through with mass media now, plus social media and all this stuff. You know what I mean? We just know about it more than we ever did back in the days. I met 3 serial killers in my prison. That's crazy, Bonnie. My mother worked in a prison for a while as a nurse, and she had to deal with one too. And she would have never known if she didn't know. Huge point, Paula. I was just talking to my daughter and son-in-law tonight about this earlier. That the pandemic, and I don't care what anybody says, because I it didn't get this bad until I swear until the pandemic hit. It seems like people have like gone a little crazy since the pandemic. There's people that say, "Oh, it's the vaccination." I don't think it's a vaccination. I think that people just spent either a lot of people spent so much time alone or cooped up that it caused people to snap some ways or something. I don't know, guys. It could be me, but it just seems that way to me. And they agreed with me when I was talking about it. So I don't know. Awesome. 69 people in here, and we got 35 likes. Guys, please hit that like button if you can. Please, please. Let's try to get this in the algorithm tonight if we can. They work in customer service, and you're correct. Since the shutdown, people have become horrible. Well, not only that, I noticed I changed a little bit. Like I was Mr. About Town and I was always moving, doing something out and about, right? I could give a shit less to leave this house anymore at this point, guys. I don't care. I do like going out and doing things. I just don't. I don't know. The whole pandemic thing like put the fear of God in me because I can't get that stuff. I have asthma and stuff like that. And I just I didn't I got paranoid about it. And after getting comfortable with myself in that situation, I didn't want to go anywhere. I like doing things with the family and like going to the park and stuff like that or the amphitheater with my wife or something like that, but I don't like being around people anymore. Lots of people I don't like being around anymore. I used to love it, guys. I played in multiple bands and I would go to the bars. We'd get gigs at the bars and stuff and playing all that. I loved that kind of stuff. Not anymore. I just don't feel that anymore. I go out if I have to, or, if the family wants to do something, and that's even sometimes questionable. So I don't know, you guys. Things have changed a lot. And the trust thing, has really changed, but I still feel I don't trust people like I did, but I still feel really like I feel a lot of sympathy for people. No, I got you 12. I feel the same way. Um right, that's exactly it, Gwen and Tina and NFT. I'm more comfortable here. I'm more comfortable here than I've ever been. And that's even like for trips and stuff. I don't like being on the road anymore. I don't like any of that, guys. I hate to drive. Okay. Um, Salty, you say empath? What do you mean by that, hon? Are you referring to me or something else? Jersey lady, thank you for joining us. I grew up with 3 kids who grew up to be murderers. They can't. Wow. Okay, then. They came from nice families. We lived in a good area. See, and that, right, that doesn't always have anything to do with it. Some people are just born bad. Some people, have it just has nothing to do with it sometimes. I know I changed back to who I really was, except I'm mad. It's so strange, but it's just changed. We've all changed in some way, I think, since the pandemic. I have more the trust thing was a real big deal. I used to trust a lot of people, within reason. Nobody. I don't I nobody. I question everybody, and being out here has made it worse too, but, doing this stuff. Um Maybe that has something to do with it too, Cassie, is age. I'm gonna be 50 this coming year, so I don't know. Oh, the empath thing. Yeah, but if I've been that way my whole life, Salty, why is this just now starting to be a thing? Because it didn't used to bug me. Like I said, I could go to bars, concerts. Oh my God. You want to try to take me to a concert now? Nope. Nope, nope, nope. No way in hell. Um, if it's an outdoor concert, like the amphitheater, I'm okay with that. But at an indoor place, I just know I don't want nothing to do with it. I want to leave like right away. And Great Pearl, hey, what's going on? Be careful out there. Thank you for joining us tonight. Good Lord, Trish. My son tried killing me just before the shutdown. 3 months of jail and a year promotion. That's horrible. I hope everything's okay now. Good God. Perfect love casts out all fear. Compassion fatigue. Maybe. Because you finally realized what was causing the bad energy. Ah. This is why I respect this lady so much, and I talk to her so often. That's a huge bingo right there. That makes perfect sense, Salty. Thank you. Welcome back, Teresa. Great to see you tonight. That's on point, Salty. That never clicked. Either that or I'm just a dingbat and I don't catch things, but I think I'm pretty smart. That no, that didn't make no sense. Or that makes perfect sense. I would have never thought of that before. I do that. I know that now, and I never knew what that was before. Never knew what that was before until all you guys came out and said, "Hey, you're an empath, ding dong." I never knew why I was constantly trying to fix everybody and help everybody. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why am I doing this? I don't get it. Other people would look at me like, "Hey, jackass, what are you doing? Worry about you. Stop worrying about everybody else." I can't. I can't do it, guys. I've tried it. It doesn't make any sense, but I can't do it. There's Leslie and Billy. Hey, hey, welcome back. Good to see you tonight. Especially like the people in this community. I would do anything I possibly could for anybody in this community because the way you guys treat me and support me. Not I mean that's what I think it is, but I think I would do it anyway, and I have. You know what I mean? Even people that have been nasty to me, I don't care. I still want to help them. Does that make any sense? I don't understand that. I've never understood that. By the way, yeah, dude, where's my strawberry shortcake? Protect your energy. Burn sage, use crystals, and avoid energy vampires. Blah, blah, blah. Well, I do have. My daughter gave me this as a gift my last birthday. This is pure solid obsidian. And she said there's something about this absorbs something. I don't know. She's all into the crystals and stuff like that. And I have other things that she's given me too. Okay. If you guys can see that. It's even got a little thing on the bottom. I didn't even look at that. What is that? It's like a price tag or something. Good God. Okay. It's another gift she gave me with all these crystals. I did it. It always sits right here, Salty. It sits right next to me. I mean, I love skulls. That's why she gave it to me like this. But it sits right below my monitor, and this one, yeah, this one sits over here. This is big too. I keep it here, and then of course, right next to it, I have our little Oscar ashes from our dog. And I have a few other smaller crystals that are up and around here, and of course, my medals that I wear. But I was never into that kind of stuff before. The skull has meaning. Okay, see, she never explained it, and I really don't know it. Yeah, that's my little Oscar. We had him for a long time, you guys, 18 years. And this is what I got. My wife actually has a necklace, okay, that has a little vial on it that has his ashes in it, and she wears it all the time because we loved Oscar. He was a huge part of our family. So, Empaths Paige, welcome. Good to see you. Empaths seem to flock together as birds of a feather usually do, and we protect one another. Well, that would explain this community then. Wholeheartedly would explain this community. Oh, I understand, Starlight. It's okay. I absolutely understand. Um, I'll pick you and the wife up. We'll go over to Doodle and eat all the strawberry short. 100%. Sounds like a plan. Let's go, Leslie. Do we need to have a private conversation, Doodle? Do we need to have a private conversation, Doodle? Because you know better than that. Let's not go there. Heyoka here. Miss Sherry is native and very spiritual. I think that, my positivity, I'll be honest with you guys. I've been positive since I started into this, okay? But there's a lot of people in this community that their positivity that surrounds me, Sherry, Doodle, Salty, and the things from you guys, I think that is what carries me. I'm being dead honest at this point. I feel like you guys, a certain amount of you guys carry me and keep me um uplifted, for lack of better terms, maybe. I don't want to sound weird to you guys. I'm just saying I have that feeling because I've told you guys before when I don't come in here and do this or have the conversations that I have with Salty or Doodle or Miss Sherry or whoever, if I go days without this stuff, guys, I feel lost. Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make any sense? I do literally feel lost. Like I need to be in here and I need to be surrounded by you guys and talk to you guys. Does that make any sense at all? Because it's weird to me. I don't want to say I rely on you guys or I lean on you guys, and it just I feel like this is where I have to be. It's very weird to me, but hey yo baby, welcome dear, good to see you, and I appreciate that, all of you guys. I do. It's very it gets very deep to me. Okay, it literally, I'm an emotional person to begin with, but it makes me it's almost like a strength, you guys. Okay, and it's not just the internet, it's the people that I'm like associating with in here. That's what I mean. I feel wholeheartedly comfortable with all of you. You guys know who I'm talking about, and even the newer people that are coming in. Like, that's why I said it's amazing to me that these people are attracted to this community because they all end up being the same type of people. It's amazing. Yeah, staying grounded. I feel whole. That's it right there, Salty. That's the best way to describe it. I don't feel grounded unless if I'm out of here for a while. Say I get sick or something, right? And I'm not in here doing this for 2 or 3 days. I'm a mess, you guys, and you've seen this happen. My wife is even like, "You need to get back on your computer." What do you mean? You need to get back on your computer? Well, why? She goes, you're losing your mind or something. Like, get back on your computer. And I'm like, wow, okay. And it's back. This has happened a few times already. So That's why this community is so important to me. 100%, yo, baby. 100%. And then when I say this, when I say you guys keep my head above water, I'm not just saying it, you guys. I've been watching Dago always. Just been tired in the background. You all prayed for my husband. He had been on life support for 2 months. He is finally home after 3 months. But oh my God, that's wonderful, Paige. Wonderful. I'm so happy for that. God bless. And I hope it just continues to possibly get better. And it will always be in my thoughts and prayers. And thank you for that. That makes me feel wonderful. I'm glad. So thank you. And thank you for still supporting the channel. Exactly. We will always, always. That's amazing. That's so wonderful to me. Thank you for telling me. Absolutely. The sand on my beach is literally clear crystal quartz. Wow. Wow, that's wicked. That would be so cool. God bless Paige, both of you. I hope everything continues to get better. I do. As you, as you are to us, you treat us fair and like family. Me too. I've been here since Kylie Rodney. Wow, that's a long time, Leslie. I didn't even realize that. Only on the golf is that down? Because I'm supposed to be going sometime at the end of this summer. Salty, is that it? The Florida Bama Shore. Her family wants to take me there. I've never been there before. When we go down there, and they said it's the Gulf, and it's where Florida and Alabama come together at. Okay, cool. Well, here's the thing: if I make it there, if we end up still going, it's okay, Cassie. I'll take the hell as long as you guys are keeping my head above water. Absolutely, absolutely, and the plan is to once I get there, I plan on going live there too when I'm there. I'm not gonna miss this while we're down there. So, you're on the state line. Okay, that's cool. Hell, maybe I'll run into you. Um, so I plan on going live while I'm there. I would love to do that. I think that'd be awesome to do that with you guys. So Lake Michigan sand is all quartz too, and you are right about this. That's wild. I never knew that. I'm gonna have to check that out. Maybe it'll help. I wonder if it'll help my feet because I have really bad neuropathy from what happened with my back and stuff like that. So and my feet, they're always like hurting real bad and stuff like that. I wonder if that would help my feet to walk on that sand. Hey, slow Southern style, good to see you. Orange Beef Beach, Alabama Gulf Shores, Pensacola. Okay, yeah, those are the places that were being talked about. Starla. Well, I'm in Ohio, Starla, so we're neighbors. I have one, Cassie. It's in my living room. It's orange. It sits on a speaker in there. Um, Panama City. Okay. What's up, Legendary? Thank you for joining us tonight. It's weird that I've only been on YouTube for a couple of weeks, but I already feel like this day. Well, that's awesome, Tracy. That's I love hearing stuff like that. It makes me feel like what I'm doing is worth doing. When I see things like that, that right there is what makes me feel like this is all worth it, guys. Seriously. You are also special to us. No other group like this one. Trust me, I've watched others and I'm not knocking anyone else, but I just connect to you guys so much. That's wonderful, Paige. That's that's amazing. I'm glad that you feel that way. That's what I'm talking about. That right there makes me feel like what I'm doing is worth doing, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But that right there, that's what I'm talking about. You guys, when I say that, you guys are the beautiful people. That's exactly what I mean when I say it, guys. I'm real as they come. And that right there, that means everything to me right there. Thank you for that, Paige. Thank you. Oh, what I saw today. Thank you so very much for that. Damn. I know, Salty. I know, I know. I know. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Cass. You guys are killing me. Thank you, Whitney. Your time clock. Well, you guys are wonderful, I'm telling you. Oh my God. Thank you so very much, Paige. You guys are killing me tonight. Pamela, that's you. I can't. You guys are absolutely amazing. I've thought a lot of you for a long time before Idaho and Kylie, and back when all the paranormal together. I missed you, and I've always stayed stubbed and poked my head in. That's awesome, yo baby. Thank you so much for that. You guys are really amazing. Thank you so much, Golf. Thank you, Gene. Yeah, I love you. Don't you know you make us? Well, I don't want to make you guys cry. Show us how to become a better person and everything. And heck, you let us dance and tell us what songs. That's so awesome. Thank you, Leslie, so very much. Yeah, Miss Sherry's been here for a long time, and she's still here. We can, Cassie, definitely. We can definitely work on doing that for sure. Thank you, B. You guys are killing me tonight. Come on now. Well, that's good to hear too. Thank you, Sunshine. Oh man, Taxi Slut, good to see you. Thank you. Oh, you're horrible, Cassie. Wow. You guys are absolutely, this is what I'm talking about. You are all so absolutely amazing. It's unbelievable. And it's like I said, to be able to have you all together in one community blows my mind. It is just crazy. Yeah, we can bring that back, Cassie. I honestly, because of the people that showed up for it, I didn't think anybody was really caring for it. So, it's like, well, let's do this then. Because I want it to be what you guys want. That's why I do it. I try to give you guys the best I can. Yeah, it sure as hell has. That ain't no lie. This lady's one of the reasons why I'm still here, because there's been a couple times I've almost shut this down and just walked away. And her and Wisdom Speaks and Molly, Doodlebug, Mama Bear, of course, quite a few people have kept me doing this. So it's a fact. Pink, holy hell, Pink Pete, I haven't seen you in a long time. How are ya? Thank you for jumping in tonight. I appreciate you. Walt Harris, what's going on? Yeah, Idaho definitely is rough. Okay, and I'm trying to stay as far away from it as I can until I need to be there, and only there, only that time. Amber Milby, welcome from Fairborn, Ohio, neighbor. Good to see you. Um, that's a fact. I do have the best, in my opinion, the best moderators on YouTube. I'm sorry, I have to say that. And again, in my opinion, the best community on YouTube too. So I can argue that forever. Wow, you guys worked me over there for a minute. We got 80 awesome people in here. I'm cool, Tomboy. Thank you. Let's see real quick. Something else awesome that you made, probably. It is. That's awesome. I love these things when she makes this stuff and then sends me these pictures. These things are really cool. That's pretty neat. You're good with this stuff. I'm telling you, you're really talented. Again, sorry, you guys. That thing's really cool. And all it is clay. And even with those cups, that's really neat. Very talented. I'm glad that you have something like this. That's kind of my thing too with my other hobbies. It's usually just this, but that's really cool, Tomboy. Thank you for sending me that. Um, what was I gonna say? I'm glad that you have something like that to like, you know, outload your time into. It's really cool. It's so great to see you, Pink. It's been a while. It's wonderful to have you see you back in here. It really is. There, you happy, Cassie? I do agree. Oh, stop it, Walt. Be nice. Um, right. Exactly. Come on in. Meta Mom, Christy, welcome. Good to see you tonight. Well, hello, Miss Liberty. You adorable little thing. She's so cute. That's another thing too, is I think like all your grandkids and your kids and stuff like that, they're amazing too. And I like being able to be close to that in that sense too, you know, having such and such Doodle's grandson wants to say hi, or Mandy's kids want to say hi, things like that. It makes me feel special too, you guys. Evie Marie, welcome back. Good to see you tonight. So I'm just saying the whole community aspect of this, I never expected this when I started this, you guys. I really didn't. I'm telling you. And the friendships, at least in my mind, friendship like Faux Popper, you guys have heard that story probably 300,000 times, but he's a really good guy. And he was the first moderator, the first subscriber, the first person I talked to on here. And he still comes in here, as you saw at the beginning of the stream, when he can. He doesn't really talk a whole lot, but a lot of times he just sits here and listens and still supports it. You know what I'm saying? As I would do with him. So it's good to know that there's good people out there. This is what has brought that back to me. At some point you sit here and go, God, the world is so horrible. There's so many bad things going on. And then I get to do this and realize that that's not totally true. There's still hope. And that's what this community does for me. Thank you, Victoria. I've been really worried about him. Very worried about him. I love Eddie to death in a bad way. I think he's a really, really good kid. Very intelligent. So I'm glad to hear that. It's okay, Tina. I got a new boom arm and mic for birthday. That's awesome, Tomboy. How did your party go? I hope you had a good party. Well, what are you going to do when he comes back, Walt? You going to take off then? Or are you going to still hang out? This guy here started off as a pain in the ass troll and is now supports me wholeheartedly. And if he doesn't and he's still being a troll, he's one hell of a troll. I'll tell you that much. Spaghetti with hot dogs. I don't know, Bonnie. I've had spaghettios with hot dogs when I was younger, so maybe that's what he's thinking. Our grandkids are amazing, and our kids are amazing. That's what makes life worth living, you guys. You know that. You better start the vitamin C. You always get emotional before you. Oh my God. Now see, this is this is uh this is crazy because when you guys get to the point where you know me like that, what's that all about? It's all good. Well, and again, Paige, thank you for that. That made my whole night, my whole week. I'm so happy to hear that he's home and that things are on the up and up. You know what I mean? um, I have that stuff, Cassie. I have all that stuff. I got grandkids. I have to keep that stuff around. Because they keep me sick. That's great to hear, Trish, and I hope you do come back. I really do. Wow, that's hard to. I heard that was hard to do, Victoria. Jeez. Like I said, for anybody that does come in here that's new, I have two rules, and you guys know them. Please don't, in any of the cases we cover, please no victim shaming and just respect each other. That's all I ever ask. Seeing that makes me happier than anything. So, no, it's not always emotional in here, but I am an emotional person. And when people say things to me or do things for me, it gets me rolling immediately. So, I'm sorry for that. Thank you, Jeff. Your channel's a great place to hang out. Thanks for what you create. I appreciate that, sir, very much. Very much. All right, guys, let me get this moving for you guys. I know you guys got to be tired of hearing me already. This again is in regards to this is just the kickoff, I call it, to get things caught up for people, and then we'll move into the other stuff with it. I love that you remember that, Pink. How do you remember that? I love that you love Betty Crocker yellow cake with chocolate frosting. That's my favorite. How do you remember that? That's see, that's amazing. Thank you for that. I am actually happy I was. Wait a minute. What's that, Victoria? Again, thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that, brother. No problem, Cassie. We'll be here. I am actually happy I was. Well, I hope you're happy. Welcome, Debbie Clark. This is from War Eagle. Sent this coffee to me. It's the Starbucks. This was toffee nut. Mm-hmm. These coffees are absolutely amazing. I love it. Oh, I get it, Victoria. I got you. Yes, yellow cake with chocolate frosting is my favorite, Bonnie. I love it. I just can't believe you remember that, Pink. I was told he wouldn't make it. No medication would touch the pneumonia he had. Even tried antifungal meds, and he is truly a miracle. Amen to that one. God bless. That's amazing, Paige. Absolutely amazing. I'm so happy to hear that. God bless. Seriously, I'm not an ultra religious person, folks, but I do have my faith, and I swear, if you have a group of people that have that same, at least a little bit of that faith together, it means all the world, all the difference in the world, guys. It really does. I think. Yeah, I am beyond ecstatic for you, Paige, and I'm just beyond ecstatic. I'm so happy to hear that. Kimberly KB, welcome. Yes, this is what we're jumping into, guys. Welcome, Summer Vibes. There you go. There you go. It is. It's the Betty Crocker yellow butter cake or extra butter yellow cake with the chocolate frosting. I love it, guys. I can't eat it anymore. I can have a little piece here and there, but I love it. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Two mothers who are missing, one of them a pastor's wife. Search this evening for two mothers who are missing, one of them a pastor's wife. They vanished on the way to pick up one of the mother's children. The car they were in has been found in Oklahoma. Here's ABC's Victor Kendo.
Tonight, the urgent search along the Kansas-Oklahoma border for two missing mothers who vanished the day before Easter while driving to pick up children.
They're gone, and nobody knows where they exactly went.
39-year-old Jillian Kelly, the wife of a pastor at First Christian Church in Hugoton, Kansas, was traveling with 27-year-old Veronica Butler. According to Butler's church, the two women were on their way to get Butler's children for a birthday party, but they never made the pickup.
It appears that this was not a willing incident on their own to have taken off. It looks to be that there's something more involved.
Butler's blue Kia found abandoned on the side of the road about 40 miles away in rural Texas County, Oklahoma.
There's every reason to believe that they could be in danger.
At an Easter service, prayers for their safe return.
We're going to wrap our arms around the Kelly family. We're going to love them. Lord, we lift up Jillian. We lift up Veronica. We pray for their safety.
The pastor at Butler's church describes the women more like acquaintances than friends. Tonight, their community will gather for a vigil. David?
Victor Kendo tonight. Victor, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos.
All right, so that just kicks it off, and then we're going to go into all this other stuff now. Angela, hello. You're so amazing, and thank you for being you, and love you, this channel, and mods and chat. I'm the one sitting in the corner just watching it hit the like. You're amazing, Angela. Thank you so much for that, and God bless. Love you guys to death. I really do. All right. Hold on a minute here. All right, this is an update from 3 days ago to give you guys kind of catch up some stuff. We'll do a couple of these to catch you guys up on everything. Most of you guys, seems like a lot of you guys know about it already, so. All right, here we go.
I'm fine with it. Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. It's Hunter McKee, Hunter McKee, Public Information Manager, Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. On Saturday morning.
Welcome, Vix. No, I'm not able to do that. What I saw. It wasn't me that said that. I think somebody else in here, or I think another channel creator, Rock Chalk, is down there or headed down there from what my understanding was, which is amazing. Anybody that can do boots on the ground with any of these cases, that's absolutely awesome. So props to her for sure for doing that. That's amazing. That's to anybody, by the way. Anybody that does that, guys. So Legendary says they checked 42 mine shafts looking for the two women about 50 miles from there. Okay. Got you, Legendary. Thank you for the input. I did hear that. Yeah, this is pretty much, that was the beginning. I'll catch you up, Gene, I promise. Like right through all this stuff, I promise it.
March 30th, the Texas County Sheriff's Office requested the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation to
All right, this should this from here, Sip Anon, good to see you. We'll go from here, and then most of this should catch you up though, Gene.
I'm fine with it. Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. It's Hunter McKee, Hunter McKee, Public Information Manager, Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. On Saturday, March 30th, the Texas County Sheriff's Office requested the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation to investigate the suspicious disappearance of two women. This was 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old Jillian Kelly. Their vehicle was found abandoned. This was near Highway 95 and Road L, and this was just south of Elkhart, Kansas. This was on the very northern part of rural Texas County, just south of that Kansas line. As soon as the OSBI special agents were requested to assist with this case, our special agents, along with several other local law enforcement agencies in that area, all came together to try to track down where these two people went. As this investigation continued, our agents were able to determine that the abandoned vehicle that was found along that road had information that they were able to gather that showed signs that there was foul play. As of right now, what was found inside of the vehicle, the condition of the vehicle, is still under investigation right now. And in regards to our investigation, that information cannot be released. However, we can say that based on what they were able to obtain, that there was foul play. Right now, we are still looking for both women at this time, and there are no arrests. And again, we've received several tips on this case so far, but we're asking that the public in that area or anyone that has additional information or knows about the whereabouts of these two people to please reach out to the OSBI at tips@osbi.ok.gov. And you can also call us at 1-800-522-8017.
Do we think these two women are even alive?
We're not sure at this time. We're investigating this. We're investigating this as everything is on the table. We are hopeful that they are still alive, but we're going to do everything in our power to track these two people.
Welcome, Annie, and thank you.
There's a school district that has been on lockdown for days over this. Why?
That is the school district's decision. However, we understand that there are teachers and other people in the area that are very concerned, and we understand that they're doing what they can to keep their kids safe, as well as their teachers safe as well. That is not something that the OSBI necessarily had told them that they need.
They've been missing since Easter Sunday. Sunshine, sorry, I just saw that.
Needed to do, but that was the school district's decision, and we understand that they're just trying to keep everyone as safe as possible.
Should Oklahomans be concerned about their well-being?
At this time, we do not believe that the public is in immediate danger. But again, we're trying to do everything that we can to talk to as many people in that area as we can. And because there is foul play involved in this case, we're doing what we can to identify possible suspects. And then if anything changes in regards to that, or if there's someone that we are specifically looking for, we will let the public know, and we will let them know if that changes. But as of right now, there are no suspects identified. And right now, we do not believe that the public is in immediate danger.
Any leads on suspect? How many people are we kind of looking at?
That is still under investigation right now.
The story is they were picking up children. What were they? Their children? Whose children were they?
We're still investigating that right now. We know that there was another law enforcement agency that had determined that that's where they were going. But right now, our agents are still investigating where their final destination was and where these women were exactly traveling to. We know they were traveling from Kansas. We know they were driving through Oklahoma, and their abandoned vehicle was found in Oklahoma. But where they were going is still under investigation right now. Again, that the information that was found inside of the vehicle or around the vehicle is something that we're not going to release at this time.
Are we any closer to finding the girls?
We are hopeful. Our agents and other law enforcement agencies in that area are working around the clock to do what they can to track these two people down and to find out what had occurred, why they went missing. I mean, all of that is still under investigation right now, but we're hopeful that we'll have more details coming.
We're saying these are mothers. Have you been able to speak to anyone's family? How are they feeling this evening?
There's a lot of individuals that our agents have been in contact with and have spoke to so far. That's family, that's friends, that's people that have been in contact with them up until the hours missing.
Welcome, Mama Bear.
Right now, we're not going into details of who we're exactly speaking to, but we're talking to as many people as we can to try to find out what had occurred.
And there's really limited information about who these women were. Is there any more that you could tell us? Two mothers, that's about it?
Not at this time. We know that these are two women who, unfortunately, because they are missing, because it's been since Saturday, since anyone has heard from them, and because we were able to obtain information to declare that there was foul play, this is extremely sad and extremely unfortunate. we're hopeful that we'll be able to find out what had happened very soon.
Any additional information you can give us at this time?
Not at this time. We again, what we're going to try to do is based on what we're able to find. Well, what I can say is right now we will continue to update on any information that we deem is to release to the public on our social media platforms. So again, we ask that people who want to follow this can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. So we will continue to put out updates. As of right now, there is nothing additional, but as soon as we have anything else, we will definitely let everyone know.
There was a Amber Alert over Easter weekend as well. Is this in connection to it at all?
No.
Okay. And how many missing people are right now in Texas County?
Right now in Texas County, we're looking for 2 women, 2 people. And again, I just want people to understand that the public, the citizens in that area have done a tremendous job of reaching out to us. They are concerned. They want these women found. They want as many answers as possible. We understand that. But as we kind of continue to investigate this and find out what had exactly occurred, we just want to put it out there that we still need people. Anybody else that knows anything, please reach out to us by phone, and you can also email us at tips@osbi.ok.gov. We're still receiving as many tips as we possibly can.
And I do want to ask one last question. I feel like I've seen so many endangered people.
Okay. One moment here. All right, we got an update as of yesterday. There's a few updates from yesterday, but hold on a minute.
As you just mentioned, this case has really captured the attention of so many people all over the nation. The 2 missing women have been gone since Saturday, and now OSBI says this case is their primary focus.
It's our number 1 priority right now for our agents to find these women as quickly as they possibly can.
Time is of the essence for OSBI as they continue their investigation into the suspicious disappearance of 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old Jillian Kelly.
As the days and the hours go by, it becomes more and more challenging and more difficult.
Law enforcement says Butler was traveling from Kansas to Texas County in the Panhandle to pick up her children. Kelly was in the car with her, but the 2 never showed up. A sheriff's deputy found their truck in a rural area of Texas County on Saturday. The 2 women nowhere to be found.
Not a lot of buildings, not a lot of homes, no cameras. It's made it extremely challenging, but that's why we stress again that if you know something, please say something and please reach out to us.
On Wednesday, OSBI said they found evidence pointing to foul play in the abandoned vehicle.
The evidence that was in the vehicle, was around the vehicle, the condition of the vehicle, all of that is still under investigation at this time.
This case gaining national attention on social media, people sharing their thoughts, and OSBI says in some cases, wrong information.
It makes it challenging because we're having to navigate through information that just isn't true.
Still, OSBI is asking anyone with information to please come forward.
We need more. I mean, this is something that as it continues, our investigators need as much information as we can possibly get.
Thank you, Zelda.
And OSBI telling me today, despite false rumors and claims on social media, there have been no arrests in this case. Reporting live, Zach Royale, KOCO 5 News.
Once again, misinformation never fails. Doesn't matter what case it is. It's really sad. All right, hold on. One moment here. One moment, guys.
News Nation correspondent Brooke Schaefer spent the day at that very spot. She joins us live now from Liberal, Kansas. So, Brooke, what was new? What'd you find out today?
Well, Ashley, I have been on the phone really all afternoon with OSBI trying to get some more information on this case. What I learned today is that investigators say they are still hopeful that these two moms are alive today. And we know that investigators are focusing very heavily on that car that was found abandoned in that rural area in Oklahoma. But of course, a layer of difficulty in all of this is just how rural it is out there. We went out there today, my crew and I, to really get the lay of the land. Here's what we saw. So this is the area where that abandoned car was spotted. Investigators now saying they've got evidence from that car to suggest foul play in the disappearance of these two moms. So we wanted to bring you out here to show you where the car was found. If you look around, man, it is desolate out here. This is pretty much as rural gets. The closest town is probably about 12 miles away. But these two moms also weren't too far from their destination where they were supposed to pick up Veronica Butler's two kids. They probably had about 2 or 3 miles left to go when they seemingly vanished. And this is where investigators found their car on this dirt road off the side of the highway. Again, a very, very desolate area. Our cell signal was going in and out as we were driving out here. So if their car broke down, if they needed to call for help, would they have even been able to do that? So as we were looking around here too, we were trying to figure out, even in this area, where their car could have been. We were walking around, and that's when we spotted just really the only piece of evidence, the only indication that there might have been a crime scene out here. We saw this last little piece of yellow sheriff's office tape. And Ashley, as we've been reporting, OSBI said that they now have some evidence either in or around the car, leading them to believe that there is foul play suspected in the disappearance of these two moms. We've heard some rumors that there was blood around the car. I've pressed OSBI trying to confirm that information. So far, though, investigators not saying what evidence they have in that car.
I'm so fascinated by watching you out there in that.
This is why I think somebody followed them or was following them. I mean, nothing else makes sense with that. You know what I mean?
That exact spot, because I've just been trying to envision what happened in that moment. The crime tape is fascinating that they left that behind. It was tied to what looked like a post that might have been up at some point. But there was also that depressed area of grass. Do we know if the car was off the road and in that depressed area of grass? Do we know if the car was on the road? Like any detail like that?
I've gotten a couple of conflicting reports, Ashley. I talked to one guy out there this morning who said he saw the blue car abandoned there on Saturday. He said he didn't see anyone around. By the time he saw the car, it was empty, but he was a little ways away. He told me that the car was sort of in the brush off the side of the road. But then I spoke with somebody else very, very close to the case who said that they saw the car and it was, in fact, on the dirt road. But either way, regardless of those conflicting reports, that car was abandoned off the side of the highway. And that, I think, is a very big question for so many people, because these two women were only about 10 minutes away from what would have been their destination.
Awesome.
Almost there. And so why they would have pulled off to the side of the road is, of course, a question. And then you add in that layer of just how desolate it was out there. Our cell signal was going in and out. If they needed to call for help, would they have even been able to do that?
I mean, no one would hear you scream out there. No one would hear a gunshot. You know, it would seem, it's just so, I don't know, it just gives me the willies when I look at that site. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased.
All right. Little by little by little by little. Like I said, this is definitely a very strange situation. Hold on, I gotta find the other stuff I had downloaded for this. 1 second. 1 second, everybody. All right, 1 second. That one didn't work. I understand. I don't understand why they do that. If these links that I downloaded this yesterday and that now it disappeared. So 1 second. I guess I'll have to go with this one. It's about the same. Okay, hold on. Excuse me. Sorry about that. And yeah, there we go. Okay. And that's the thing that creeps me out. I'll be honest with you guys, is this area is so desolate. I mean, it's out there. Okay. So it's not like this was something that was just a happenstance. I think this was, they knew they were coming this direction. So I think something happened that could have been premeditated in a sense. Do you know what I'm saying? With dad in rehab, his mother had the kids. Right. Thank you, Salty. That's a good point. Wrangler's mom has custody of the kids. Right. Martin says, there's a comment about Sebastian's case. Lots of autistic children have an affinity with nature, and I wondered if Sebastian had some of the naturist. If so, have things like watercourses, trains, rock community. I do believe so, Martin. Thank you for the question, though. All right, 1 second here.
Two missing moms disappeared somewhere in one of the most remote parts of America. Veronica Butler, 27 years old, Jillian Kelly, 49. They were driving from Houghton, Kansas to Eva, Oklahoma. You can see there right on the border. Because of a bitter custody battle, the other mom came along for support. Neither ever made it to pick up the kids. Police found their car abandoned in a rural area. Almost all of this is rural Oklahoma, with no trace of the moms.
That unknown is what has created it suspicious for us at this time. Sheriff's office deputies approach the vehicle and these women are gone and they're nowhere to be seen.
Brooke Schaefer joins us from Texas County, Oklahoma, right there on the Texas-Kansas border. Brooke, all right, how far into the search are we?
These moms have been missing since Saturday at this point, Leland. Still not a lot of information on what happened out here. Like you said, this is a very rural spot in Oklahoma. The closest town to where we are standing is probably about 15 miles from us. Cell signals going in and out, so there's not a lot of, surveillance cameras. There aren't a lot of witnesses out here, so that's definitely a difficult layer in trying to track them down. But yesterday, we got a major update from investigators. They said they now have some evidence either in or around the abandoned car that these women were traveling in that leads them to believe there's foul play suspected in the suspicious disappearance of these two moms. Today, we came out here to this rural area to really see it for ourselves, see what these women were potentially dealing with, see what investigators are battling right now. And you see on your screen, we met a couple of people who were actually out here on horseback. They were just volunteers. They got in their car. They drove about 4 hours to come down here to try and find these two moms. They said they were looking for any evidence that could maybe lead to their whereabouts. Here's one of them. I talked to them. Take a listen.
What made you want to come out here and search?
Just nobody looking, and I felt bad for them. I have a farm with horses, and we had talked to the sheriff, and he said, we'll take all the help we can get. And So I called my hand and I was like, let's go.
When you get on these horses, what are you guys going to be looking for? What are you hoping to spot?
Grass that's been knocked over, or just anything tracking wise, footprints, tire tracks, whatever.
That's sad to me. Excuse me. That's sad to me that there's nobody looking. I mean, really? What the hell? I know that these are grown women, they're adults, but they're still important. They're still missing. Why are they not organizing searches for this? This is weird to me. I'm sorry, but it just doesn't make sense.
Whenever we, if it goes off into the grass or just any signs of foul play.
So, Leland, the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation is right now handling the suspicious disappearance of these moms. I actually just got off the phone with their public information officer, and I said, do you think that these women are still alive? He said, as of today, they are still hopeful to find these two moms alive. But as of right now, no sign of them. No one has been arrested. And they're also not sharing whether or not they have any suspects or persons of interest in this case, Leland.
Yeah, you think there's so much here, right? And yet so little to go on because, as you point out, rural Oklahoma, not a lot of surveillance cameras around. The distances between these towns is enormous. There's a lot of country roads, a lot of farm roads to move around on. What do we know about where the car was found? Was it abandoned next to a side of the road? Was there any attempt to hide it? Had it been burned? Anything like that?
Yeah, so this is actually the area where we're standing. This is where these moms were supposed to meet up. This is where they were supposed to pick up Veronica Butler's two kids. Where they found the car was about 10 minutes away from here. So they really were not far from their destination.
Wow. So this makes me wonder, you guys, if somebody was sent to intercept this scenario so that they couldn't make it there. 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes? Really? Welcome, Lisa. Good to see you. This is crazy. This is literally crazy. I absolutely feel that somebody was sent to intercept this scenario. And I have to wonder that law enforcement has something. We were talking about this earlier about how law enforcement will keep things close to their chest for the integrity of the case that they're working on. It's been blatantly said that they believe there's foul play. Okay. That says a lot to me. So, hey, Josie, good to see you. Yeah, the driver's side window of the car was busted out. Thank you again, Zelda. Fucking William Grant. Even the meeting place seems odd in the middle of nowhere. I agree. I can only imagine. Yeah, it's not honestly, Salty. It's just figuring out who. I don't think it's hard either. Who is who? You know what I mean? Hold on a second. My son's asking me a question. My apologies, guys. Okay. Well, yeah, like I said, it's I don't think it's hard either. It's just figuring out who. You know what I mean? And I would have to think. I agree that. Excuse me. Law enforcement probably does know something, and it could have been a setup. Could have been pre-planned this way. And where this was, guys, it looks like they purposely, probably somebody was watching or waiting, wait until they got to this very remote area and then did what they had to do. You know what I mean? So, excuse me. crazy.
I talked to a witness today. He did not want to go on camera, but he told me that he saw the car that these women had been in. He saw it abandoned. He said there was nobody around it by the time he saw it on Saturday morning. He didn't get close enough, he said, to see if there was any broken windows or anything like that. But he said that the car was parked sort of in the brush right off of the highway, not really necessarily a normal spot that you would pull over. Again, investigators are saying that they have evidence either in or around the car, leading them to believe there's foul play in all of this. We've heard some rumors that there was maybe blood around the car. We haven't been able to independently confirm that. I've tried asking investigators about that multiple times. So far, they are not willing to confirm whether or not that was the case, only saying that they believe there's foul play because of something they have seen either in or around the car.
Thanks for watching. Go to
Exactly. And this is where, yes, by the way, yes, tomboy he is. That's why he came running in here freaking out. Completely freaking out. He's watching WrestleMania, so he just had the excitement of his life. So, Jamie Telford, welcome. Everyone should hit like. I think he's covering this show better than well. Thank you very much, Jamie. I appreciate that very much. It's reported that the pickup location for the children may have changed from the original location as the ladies were traveling to get the trip. And see, that right there in itself is completely suspicious. Why did you change that? To be able to get these people in an area that you wanted them to be. Yeah, Cody Rhodes won. That's why Caden's doing like backflips right now. And of course, John Cena and The Undertaker came out, so he's in heaven. So, this is just sad, especially considering that Jillian has nothing to do with this. She's just trying to help. You know what I mean? So, against my better judgment, guys, I'm going to bring this up here because recently she's been doing okay, in my opinion. It's going to be hard, but we're going to get through this. Oh, okay, Paige. Hold on, man. Let me check that first then. Thank you very much. Let me see something here. Oh, okay. All right, one moment here. How do I get this over here? Interesting. Let's see something here. Thank you, Paige. See here. The defendant and the plaintiff have had a telephone conversation that took place extremely recently, September 22nd of 23, wherein the plaintiff admits that he never disapproved of any of the supervisors that the defendants had chosen for her supervised visitations, and that it was his mother, and that would make the decision he felt compelled to listen to her. The plaintiff further stated that he had been threatened numerous times by his mother, that she would kill him, shoot him in the head if he didn't do what she told him to do, that he would send the plaintiff copied and pasted text directly from his mother as if it were him, that the plaintiff believes his mother has cops in her pocket. Most importantly, the plaintiff admitted that he believes that his mother coaches and has coached the subject minor children before dropping them off with the current counselor. I can't, the name is blacked out, but it's under there. Tiffany something. Wow, that's interesting. Where did you get this from, Paige, if I can ask? That's insane. So is the mother, is she crazy? Thank you, Doodle, very much for that. And by the way, thank you anybody that donates to the links, the PayPal, the Venmo, the Cash App. That helps me to keep going. It pays my bills here, guys. So thank you so very much for that. God bless. I appreciate anybody that does. was posted on the Missing Moms group. Got you. Thank you. I was going to go to that next, so that's awesome. Wow. That's pretty serious. Like, those are pretty serious accusations. What's up? Okay. Okay, so this was just posted on a Facebook group. So we don't know that there's any truth behind this, obviously, you guys, but still, that's pretty wow. Okay. Let me back out of here for a minute. All right, let's check this out real quick. This is what I was going to throw up here. It might be hard, but still. Let's bear with it and see what she has to share real quick about this.
The desperate search for two Kansas moms. One of them, a preacher's wife, who seemingly vanished into thin air on their way to pick up the children. Now we learn their car has been found. What, if any, clues does it reveal? I'm Nancy Grace. This is Crime Stories. Thank you for being with us. I've covered a lot of missing people cases. I can't even count them all. But it's very rare that
no problem, Sunshine.
women, two adults, disappear at the same time. Think about the logistics of that. Think about some guy coming up and saying, "Hey, get in my car." How's he going to wrangle two adult females into the car? Why? We're not going to run for it now. It's different when you think about, for instance, Libby and Abby, the two little girls that were abducted and murdered in Delphi. They were literally taken off of a trestle bridge in plain view and directed, I believe, at gunpoint down the side of the hill underneath that trestle bridge, and they were murdered. It's easier to control children or young teens, especially teens that have been sheltered and don't know what to do in that situation. But two adult females, moms, both of them, you'd think they would run for it or resist. But as of right now, no sign of these two missing moms, Veronica and Jillian. With me, an all-star panel to make sense of what we know right now, but straight out to Nicole Parton. Joining us, crimeonline.com investigative reporter. Nicole, take a listen to this.
At 6:15 p.m. Saturday, Oklahoma Highway Patrol issued a missing and endangered alert for Butler and Kelly on behalf of the Texas County Sheriffs. By Sunday evening, the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation announced they would be joining the investigation into Butler and Kelly's, quote, suspicious disappearance. Authorities have remained tight-lipped about any leads on the women's whereabouts, releasing very few details in the case as we enter the 5th day since the women were last seen.
Hey, Nicole Parton, hold on just one moment. Let me first go to Dr. Nicole Vienna, joining us out of LA. Dr. Nicole is a forensic psychologist who specializes in trauma and neurodevelopmental disorders. She's the CEO of Vienna Psychological Group. Her CV is so long, I don't have time to read it all. Dr. Nicole, thank you for being with us. You know, a lot of times I hear when a woman goes missing, somebody will say, she ran off with her boyfriend. What boyfriend? You think this preacher's wife is stashing a hot young boyfriend somewhere? That did not happen. And it's very dismissive. I don't like it because it seems like here's a great example, Dr. Nicole Vienna. I don't know if you recall Stacy Peterson. She was married to a cop, Drew Peterson. She just disappeared. And all Peterson would say for months and months, and to this day, she ran off with her boyfriend. Like, it'll be a cold day at HELL that most moms would leave their children for some guy. Really? As my grandmother would say, men are like buses. A new one will come along every 15 minutes. Just wait. So you're going to leave your children? But here's the kicker. Not one, but two moms decide they're going to leave their children and run off. That's BS, technical legal term. That did not happen. They did not go willingly, Dr. Nicole.
It doesn't sound like it. I suspect that there was probably foul play involved on one party's end or the other.
Yeah, that's a really good point, Dr. Nicole. One party's in or the other. Again, with me, an all-star panel. But the first thing I like to do, in addition to finding out about my victims, because Kathleen Murphy, poor Nicole Parton. Nicole, I'm getting there. Kathleen Murphy is with me, high profile lawyer joining us out of North Carolina. She's at Triangle Divorce Lawyers. And she used to say she was in domestic law, but that's makes it sound like we're all sitting around the fireplace having hot chocolate. Domestic law, it's, like putting two wet cats in a barrel when you go into court on a domestic, like a divorce or a custody. Kathleen, have you noticed every time sometimes a teen girl or an adult female goes missing, same second verse, same as the first, she ran off with her boyfriend. But how often do you see a grown woman, not one but two of them, decide to abandon their children?
Absolutely. It's very unusual to have two women who are disappearing at the same time, both of them mothers. It's highly unlikely that they have anything on their agenda but what's in the best interest of their children at that time.
You're right. And you've seen so many custody cases where the moms go to the mat to hold on to the children and protect the children. That's what I'm saying. Nicole Parton, let's set up a timeline. Nicole joining us from crimeonline.com. Nicole, what do we know about? I understand one of the moms was collecting her children to throw a birthday party for them. Let's just start at the beginning.
That's right. So the two women left Elkhart, Kansas on Saturday morning, heading to pick up Veronica's children for their birthday party. It was a 16-mile trip to Eva, Oklahoma. They were actually going to a place called Four
You
Corners
give me
Trading
a little
Post.
bit more information, Nicole. They're leaving from where to go to where? It's Elkhart, right? Elkhart?
Elkhart, Kansas. Elkhart, Kansas.
Elkhart,
16-mile trip.
Kansas on Highway 95-ish and Road L.
Let her
Tell
talk,
me
Nancy.
about Elkhart.
They were leaving from their hometown of Elkhart, Kansas. The two moms were traveling together early Saturday morning with plans to go a 16-mile trip to pick up Veronica's two children for a birthday party. They never made it to Eva, Oklahoma, which is where they were headed.
Nicole Parton, when I was preparing to discuss the case, I learned that Elkhart is actually, it's a small town. There's a little under 2,000 people that live there as of the last census. And that's important for one reason. It's a smaller suspect pool. And second, I find out, and correct me if I'm wrong on this geography, but it straddles, it's very close to the Kansas, Oklahoma state border. Is that right?
That's correct.
Now, another issue is it's a little under 9 miles from the Kansas-Colorado border. Is that right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, here's the problem right there. Let me go to Dan Corsentino joining us, former police chief, also served on U.S. Homeland Security Senior Advisory Board at dancorsentino.com. Here's a problem with that, Dan. You've got 3 jurisdictions involved, and I don't mean 3 cities in one state. I mean potentially Oklahoma, Kansas, and Colorado. Do you think they're talking to each other? Because a lot of times killers, missing people slip through the cracks when you're dealing with cross-state boundary issues, interstate.
Absolutely. The question is the timing issue between the jurisdictions, and specifically the origination point and who's going to take the lead, the information that's being disseminated by the primary jurisdiction to the other jurisdictions, and the accuracy of the information they have at the origination point as it evolves throughout the investigation.
Take a listen to Sydney Sumner, crimeonline.com.
Jillian Kelly, a mom of 4, serves as a secretary at Hugoton, Kansas First Christian Church, where her husband, Heath Kelly, is the pastor. The Kellys are planning a move to Indianola, Iowa, as Heath Kelly has been called as the new pastor of Willow Christian Church. Friendships among clergy families are easily made, and Pastor Tim Singer of Hugoton Assembly of God introduces the Kellys to mom of 2, Veronica Butler. She's described by friends as kind and a gardening enthusiast.
I want you to know more about the victims. Why? If you know more about the victims, the easier it will be to identify a perp if this kidnapping was not random. And yes, I think it was a kidnapping or worse. What do we know about them? I mean, back to you, Kathleen Murphy, there's a big difference if you're looking for, hey, let's just say the Long Island serial killer victims. Many of them are prostitutes. I'm not judging. I don't care what they do for a living. As far as I'm concerned, their life is just as important as this preacher's life. But what I'm saying is it's easier to identify potential suspects when you have a victim, as in this case, as opposed to an escort, because the escort meets so many unknown males every day. She's meeting people online. She's meeting people out on the street. It could be anybody. So the fact that these 2 women had no connection with a large grouping of males. And I'm saying males because typically males are responsible for more violent crime. That gives us a much smaller suspect pool, Kathleen.
And they were going to a birthday party. They were picking up a child. How suspect is that? It's very straightforward. We do it all day long.
Guys, let's find out more about the second victim. You've heard about Jillian Kelly, a mother of 4, secretary at the Kansas First Christian Church, her husband, Heath Kelly, the pastor there. We know about her. What do we know about Veronica Butler? Listen.
Veronica Butler has been locked in a years-long battle with her children's dad. Cole and Kendall are with paternal grandmother Tiffany Adams. Butler plans to host a birthday party for Kendall and makes the 45-minute drive to her hometown of Eva, Oklahoma to pick them up. Jillian Kelly rides with Butler.
Okay, back to you, Nicole Parton, joining us, crimeonline.com investigative reporter. Let's track it. They are driving, I believe you said 15 or 16 miles. Why would that
16
take 45
miles.
minutes?
It's a very rural area. Yes, 16 miles, but it's a very rural area. A lot of it is 95, Highway 95, but then you're in a very rural 2-lane area for a portion of the drive. So I imagine that slows it down a bit.
Okay, that makes sense. They're not on an interstate where you can drive 75 miles an hour. They're
Right.
in a 25 mph zone for part of the time. So they've got a 45-minute drive to go throw a kid's birthday party. You'd think, what could go wrong? So tell me about their route. They were going from Elkhart to where?
They were going to a location called Four Corners Trading Post, which is just south of Eva, Oklahoma. Four Corners Trading Post is in a very rural area of Oklahoma. Honestly, there isn't much there other than this trading post, which is an intersection of 4 roads coming together. There's a lot of pig farms in the area, silos, grain feeders, and that's about it. So that is the meeting location where they're picking up Veronica's children for the birthday party.
When Butler and Kelly are nowhere to be seen when they are due to arrive back in Hugoton, Pastor Heath Kelly and Pastor Tim Singer drive in the direction they believe the women went. South of Elkhart, Kansas, just 3 miles from the women's destination in Eva, Oklahoma, the men see law enforcement surrounding Butler's blue Kia on the side of the road. They learn that Texas County sheriffs found the car abandoned with no trace of Kelly or Butler.
Okay, that's not a good sign when your car is found abandoned on the side of the road.
Yeah, somebody mentioned that, and I was thinking about that. I don't know if you guys know what that means, but if that's the case, they're not going to find him. That's just period. Hey, Holly, good to see you. Right, Leslie. That's horrible. And they eat anything and everything. And I mean everything. So that's a huge, huge problem right there.
Those of you just joining us, Oklahoma police desperately searching for 2 Kansas moms who
Leslie, it's been a well-known thing that if you want to get rid of a body, you take it to and feed it to pigs. They'll eat it all, every bit of it, and there's nothing left. There's no way to find it or figure, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Back in the mafia days, they used to take in and they would take the bodies and they'd feed them to pigs. Nothing left. Nothing. Okay. So that's a scary thought. Very scary. Not to be gross, guys. I'm sorry, but yeah, it happens. It definitely happens. Only a few people knew Veronica knew this area, right? Oh yeah, Gwen. That's how that works. And if that's the case, there'll be nothing. They'll never find anything. I'm praying to God that that's not true, and that's one. But they can, yeah, that's true too. Clue. They can test the pig's waste if they get to that point. But yeah, and it doesn't take no time at all. You guys, they're quick about it too. That's the other problem. We had a pig farm out here where I live. They found girls' parts and stuff, and lots of people part. Yeah, exactly. It happens. It really does happen, you guys. As disgusting and crazy as it sounds, it's fact.
Seemingly vanish into thin air. They were on their way to throw a kid's birthday party, one of the mom's child. One of these women, an avid gardener, and one of them, a preacher's wife. Now, how do these two women just vanish on a 45-minute drive to throw a kid's birthday party? How does that happen? We often hear about one woman going missing. Oh my goodness, I could name a million of them right now. Molly Tibbetts goes missing jogging. Karina Vetrano goes missing jogging. It goes on and on and on. Remember Miss Fletcher? She goes missing in Tennessee, and we find out a convicted felon has taken her and killed her. She was out jogging. We hear that a lot. We hear about women leaving the mall and walking to their car. Bam, they're gone. We hear about women going to a nightclub or a bar or a restaurant. They go missing, like Natalie Holloway. Just boom, gone. But how often do you hear about a group missing? In this case, two adult women. And again, these are not women that are on the corner selling crack. These are not escorts that meet, any number of men doing their job. These are two moms on the way to throw a birthday party for a kid.
I'm hopeful for that,
It's a
Dilly.
very, very unlikely scenario. Joining me right now, special guest John Elwood, Deputy Chief at Manatee County Search and Rescue. You can find him at Manatee County SAR, searchandrescue.org.
Kind of
John, thank you
sounds
for
like
being with
that,
us.
Salty.
You have looked for a lot of people. How often do two adults go missing at the same time? I keep saying that because it's very rare and it's a conundrum in trying to figure it out.
In my experience, I've never encountered that type of scenario. Usually it's one person that is missing.
They were last seen the Saturday before Easter. Lucy Liu. This is crazy. Oh yeah, that's true though. Sherry's right. They don't digest teeth very well. So this is just, I hope to God that's not the case.
And in instance of a vehicle, you usually don't have what we refer to in the industry as a scent article, a piece of clothing, a hat, something that the person has worn. So lots of times that kind of hampers the investigation.
Okay, hold on. I want to pick up on something you just said, John Elwood. John, you said a scent article. Do you believe that in this case, possibly in the vehicle, the abandoned car, there was a scent vehicle? Because right now, we're trying to nail down the facts. Nobody's talking, which I also find very odd. But don't you believe there would have been a scent article left in the car? Or could the dogs get a scent off the inside of the car?
So in most cases, especially where you were talking about they were in a rural town and the weather, it's still kind of cold, one would think that there would be, a sweater, a jacket, maybe a stocking cap. In the event that we're not able to procure a scent article, we can take swabs of the steering wheel, the dash, the door panel, the seats where the people had been sitting and introduce that to one of the canines, and then we can more or less make an improvised scent article from that.
An improvised scent article. Wow. Okay. That makes perfect sense to me. So, in your mind, is that what they should be doing right now?
Yes, ma'am. There's a couple options that they have. First and foremost, you can use what's referred to as a tracking or trailing canine. They're scent specific, meaning that they would look for one particular person. So whether you have a scent article or you improvise a scent article, you could try to see if you got a direction of travel from the vehicle, from the people, meaning that did they have some type of mechanical problem with the car and say they were in that remote area and they had no cell coverage, they may have decided to start walking towards their destination.
Oh gosh. Yes. If they had
That's actually really interesting, Paige. I've never heard that before. That's really interesting. I'll have to look into that. I'd like to check that out. Thank you for the insight.
had car trouble. That's a really good point. And from what I'm understanding, Cole Parton, the car was found abandoned about 3 miles from the destination. Explain.
That's right. The car was found 3 miles short of the destination. Again, very rural area on Highway 95, close to Road L. The car was found around 10:30 a.m. So that's about an hour and a half after the ladies had left to go pick up the children.
I find it interesting that law enforcement is saying they find their disappearance suspicious. Okay, we know that. I guarantee you the families of these two women have told them wow, this is suspicious. I need to know a little bit more. They're also saying at risk. That tells me they also don't think these two women wandered off on their own. Have you ever heard of like girls' getaways? I doubt you have those, Nicole Parton, because you actually have 10 children, 10 children. Not a lot of getaways for you, but I hear about other women having weekend get togethers and girls' weekends. That is not what happened here, some impromptu alone time. Let's talk about the vehicle because to me, that's the biggest, other than who they may know in their lives that may wish to do them harm. And that could be an ex, it could be a husband, it could be a boyfriend, it could be, as I said, an ex boyfriend or husband, it could be the delivery boy, it could be the guy at the grocery store, it could be a coworker. So I'm not limiting this to intimate partners. Anybody in their sphere is the first person you look at, and then you go out, like neighbors, neighbors, the next neighborhood over, people that they may have worked with in the past. You start looking out, and of course, you look for men. I promise you, a woman did not hold them at gunpoint and make them leave their car. Biggest clue, other than their pool of people around them, their inner circle, you look at the car. I want to hear everything you know, Nicole Parton, about this car found abandoned.
We know that the car was a small blue SUV, that the car belonged to Veronica. I spoke to an eyewitness last night who says that she was traveling on that same road and passed by and saw the abandoned car. Her story is that at least one of the windows were smashed, was broken on that car. Now, police have not confirmed that, but the eyewitness said that she saw a window smashed on the car. She also says that she made a 911 call to report this abandoned car on the side of the road in this rural area. We know that local authorities came out, and within hours, the local authorities had contacted the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation and asked for assistance. Their latest statement about the car says that based on information obtained from the victim's vehicle, investigators believe they have evidence of foul play. All of this surrounding the found car.
Jillian Kelly is described as having chin-length highlighted blonde hair, blue eyes, and was last seen wearing a long-sleeve shirt, white jeans, and nude shoes. Veronica Butler is described as 5'4" tall with red hair and green eyes, last seen wearing a blue shirt, denim shorts, and Hey Dude shoes. If you have any information on the women, authorities ask that you please call the Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation at 1-800-522-8017.
Time is ticking by, and we all know the reality of missing people. The likelihood of them being alive after the first 72 hours is very low. Please act. We are looking for the victims of a double disappearance, which is extremely rare. Two young mothers on the way to throw a kid's birthday party vanished just 3 miles before their destination. If you have information, dial 1-800-522-8017. 1-800-522-8017. You think that because you're a citizen sleuth, you could be wrong or it doesn't matter? Let me remind you about the citizen sleuth that realized she had spotted the van of Gabby Petito. We now know dead, but we would never have found her remains. We wouldn't know what had happened to her if it had not been for Red, Blue, and Methane, I believe was their handle online. They spotted Gabby Petito's Ford Transit. They had heard about the story. They immediately called it in. You know where Gabby's remains were? In dispersed camping way out west. What is dispersed camping? That means there's no porta potty, there's no hookup, there's no parking area or street lights. You're out there with the coyotes and the rabbits and all the creatures that live in the Wild West. That's where she was.
All right, Nancy, stick to the story now. Come on.
Citizen jumping in, we may not know what happened to Gabby. But back to this case, 2 missing moms. Straight back out to Nicole Parton, crimeonline.com investigative reporter. Nicole, I want to hear everything you just told us plus more, because our biggest clue right now is that abandoned blue SUV. We think a Toyota or a Kia. I find it really interesting. LA law enforcement has not put that out there.
And here's my thought, based on the fact that they're not putting it out there. Hey, Molly, good to see you, dear. I'm going to venture to say, like, kind of what Salty said earlier, with the window broken on the driver's side and blood being in that spot, that it sounds to me like she was shot. I hate to say that, but that's what it sounds like to me. And then they were probably taken out of there. I'd love to pray and hope that it could have happened and that they're both still alive, and that we can bring them, get them home safe and sound, that she could have been just injured, maybe. Okay. Or the window being broken could have just been because somebody punched it and the blood came from their hand or something like that. But being realistic, you know what I'm saying? I have to question how Nancy can rule out a female being involved since a scorned or jealous female. Very absolutely, Bobby. Really sad. It is. It is, especially with Jillian going just to help and having her own children, and this mother. This is sad, you guys. This is very sad. I'm sorry.
Maybe someone saw something at a red light or a gas station. I don't know. Maybe they didn't, but maybe they did. I find that really interesting. Was the car running? Were the doors locked? Were the women's cell phones in the car? Were their pocketbooks in the car? Was the birthday cake in the car? What? Was it on the right side of the road? Was it pulled off the road? Was the hood up showing distress that something's wrong with the engine? All of these questions and more I need answered, but I'm not getting the information from the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation at all.
Now I need to understand something, because I've heard this both ways, that the father was in rehab, but at the same time I'm hearing that he was released or got out of the rehab. So I got to figure out how to clarify what, when, where, and how, and what the truth is behind it. So that's what I'm going to be digging at to find for sure if I can. Oh no, absolutely, Vix.
I find that curious, and it leads me to wonder, because I've never had a problem with Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation ever. Why are they not releasing it? What do they know that we don't know? Back to the car. Can you answer any of those questions, Nicole Parton?
We do know that it was parked on the right side of the road. So as they were driving, the car was just pulled over on the side of the road. Again, we know it was 3 miles from this Four Corners trading post, which is the location where they were to meet the grandmother and pick up the children. I am being told by a witness that the hood was not up. There was no signs of car trouble. There was no one seen walking around the car as if trying to, put gas in a car or figure out what's wrong with the car. A witness did say, according to them, that they saw at least.
Right. That's what I heard. He was supposed to stay for 6 months with no contact, but a lot of people going into these rehabs, they don't. But it is court ordered, so I would imagine if he left early that he would have been arrested, picked up and arrested for, violating that court order. I don't know though. So I'm going to venture to say that he was still there. And at the same time, if somebody's going to do something like this, they're not going to do it themselves. Tomboy says, Biodad, in a court-ordered rehab facility 5 hours away with no family contact for 30 days, he entered the facility March 22nd, right, and is still there. That has been confirmed by law enforcement. Okay, then. That's what my question was at this point, because I did not know that. But that doesn't mean that there aren't other people that are going to do things for somebody else, guys. We've seen that in the past. I don't know how many times. Court ordered until September, so there it is. We had an attorney here that put a hit out on her husband, who was another attorney, and got caught. And it was somebody that she had worked for, defended. Okay, they were both high-profile attorneys here. She did 20 years for that, and it never even happened. It was caught because the other attorney caught on to it. But still, so people will have other people do things for them. That's not out of the question, guys, at all. Money talks and bullshit walks. So, good point, Evie. Good. I don't think if that's the case, I don't think she hands-on did it, but I'm sure that there's somebody that she probably had do it, or if that what it ends up being, it's going to be somebody that did something for her. Thank you again, Zelda, very much for that.
One window smashed out of that car. Those are things that we know. I'm also being told that the last cell phone ping from the ladies, the two.
My understanding was that he did, CZ. That's how I understand it. If I'm wrong, please somebody tell me. That's all I can say as far as that's go. I don't know for a fact. I understand that he did, but that's how we know.
2 moms' phones were from that location where the car was found. Other than that, we're not being told what was inside the car. Personal belongings, we're not being told if they were in the car.
Now, one thing I've learned, Nicole Parton, and again, we're trying to put together the pieces and we don't have all the pieces of the puzzle yet. That's why it's not making sense to us. Another thing I learned is that police let it slip that there was something found in the car that convinced them of foul play. Do you know what it was?
I don't know. I do know that within hours of the car being found by local authorities, they did reach out to the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation within hours and said, we need help on this case. And again, in their latest statement, they said that based on information obtained from the victim's vehicle, that's the wording they used, investigators believe there is evidence of foul play. They aren't telling us what that evidence is, but something that they found in the vehicle leads them to believe something very bad happened.
Okay, there's one positive thing out of all that, John Elwood, Deputy Chief Manatee County Search and Rescue, is that they are calling the women victims. They're not buying into the same old story. They're off with their boyfriend or they wanted a girl's getaway, BS. So interesting. They find something in that vehicle that convinces them of foul play. Was it blood? Was it one of the ladies or both of the ladies' clothing? Was a cell phone cracked? I know the window was broken. So everybody on the panel, we're not having high tea at Windsor Castle. Jump in if you have an idea. Any idea? We're brainstorming here. So, John Elwood,
Was it a bullet, Nancy? Did somebody shoot the vehicle to get them to stop?
That's a really good question because we know the window, one of the windows was busted out. Hey, Nicole Parton, was it a driver's window, passenger front, back?
The witness said that she didn't stop. She kept driving. So it would have been on the driver's side, either the front or the back window, but it was on the driver's side because she could easily see the broken window.
Okay, that told me a lot right there. So it was on the driver's side. It could easily have been, if it's a 2-lane, the only way to pass a car on a 2-lane is on the driver's side. You're right, Kathleen Murphy. Was it a bullet? Is that why the glass was smashed out? Guys, we're brainstorming here. We're thinking. We're using the only tools we've got, a little bit of information and a brain trust of all of these guests. Again,
well, based on what I understand, that's why I think that OBIS thinks that there's foul play. I'm imagining in my mind, envisioning that a car either ran this vehicle off the road, pulled up in front, stopped the car, got out of the car, walks over to the window and demands something, and then boom. I can just almost visualize this completely. So this is just so sad.
Again, the tip line 800-522-8017. With every minute that ticks by, there is less likelihood of a positive outcome in finding these two missing moms. Back to you, John Elwood. I just learned a lot from Nicole Parton, and especially from the witness she managed to track down. There was no indication of car trouble. When a lot of people run out of gas, they'll open up their gas.
Yeah, there was nothing wrong with this vehicle except for this broken window, you guys. So that says a whole lot right there. They didn't break down. They were 10 minutes away, and you know what I mean? Just my thought.
Valve, and you can see that it's open, or they'll stick a rag in it, and they ran out of gas. And hey, Nicole, do you know when she saw the vehicle as it relates to when the women went missing? When did she see the vehicle?
She saw the vehicle shortly after 10 a.m. She couldn't remember the exact time, but piecing it together, she was saying somewhere between like 10:10 and 10:20 in that time frame.
On March 30th? On March 30th?
Correct.
So is that in the morning, did you say?
In the morning. And we are being told by the police that they found the car at 10:30 a.m. So they were on the scene within minutes of her seeing the vehicle.
And question, Nicole Parton, what time did the mom set out for the birthday party?
We're being told they left around 9 a.m.
Oh, my stars. Dan Corsentino, that is a very tight timeline. They leave. Hey, and Nicole, there's not a time change, is there?
There is not.
That's a good question, Clue.
In 1 hour, Dan Corsentino, it's over. They leave around 9-ish to go for a 45-minute drive to throw the kid's birthday party. By 10 o'clock, their car is pulled off the road. We know there wasn't a car crash. We don't think they ran out of gas. They didn't have engine trouble. The window was smashed on the driver's side, and they're gone. That all happened in less than 1 hour, Dan.
Absolutely. And there's a number of, as you said so eloquently, pieces of the puzzle. One of the questions that surfaces is, was this a car dump? Possibly the alleged crime took place prior to, and the suspect wanted to get rid of the vehicle and dumped it. The second option is carjacking. And the carjacking could have taken place at any time in that 1 hour time period. We mentioned who would be a suspect at one time. We'll talk about that later, but we know these two women were low risk.
There's no way this was a carjacking. I'm sorry. The car's there. Okay. And if somebody's going to do a carjacking, they're not going to bust the window out. Okay. It's obvious what this was. It's known where they were going. They were 10 minutes away. It's only a 16 miles. Oh, got you, Salty. Let's be nice in here, guys. Let's not talk about any other creators or any, especially not negative, please. Everybody has the right to their opinions. Let's be nice, please. Yeah, there's some stuff on this, Clue. You'd be interested in this, I'll be honest with you. I'm surprised you hadn't really followed it yet, so I'm sure we'll talk about it. Absolutely, Lucy. There's nothing wrong with that at all. Nothing at all. Nobody's gonna hate you for it, I promise you. Everybody, you have the rights to your feelings and your opinions in here as anybody else. So I don't think that's what was being said. That's kind of what I was the thoughts I had too. I'm going to show you guys a document here after this, but yeah, that's kind of where my thoughts are going with it too. The way it was done and the way that there's nothing to be found. You know what I mean?
As victims, and these two women that were friends would have done everything they could, I believe, to try and protect themselves from the threat that came to them.
Jillian Kelly is described as having chin-length highlighted blonde hair, blue eyes, and was last seen wearing a long-sleeve shirt, white jeans, and nude shoes. Veronica Butler is described as 5'4" tall.
Oh, of course, they were headed to pick up kids. It was going to be a handoff, and there's a bad custody battle going on with it, Clue. But this one here, this younger looking, well, the redhead, I'll say that because they both look younger, but they were headed to pick up these kids. The grandmother didn't want them to pick up the kids, period. That's all there is. Okay. I mean, that's period. She didn't want them to do it. So they were 10 minutes away and boom, they disappear. Come on now. I don't know if it was, big time custody issue, but I don't know so much that Salty, but somebody that has some power of some sorts, maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe a group. I don't like using the word gang, but a group, maybe, possibly, or just, hey, Kimber, or just, okay, like a family hit. I see what you're saying. My understanding is that this woman has money and knows some people in higher up places. Well, I don't mean group, like I'm trying to not to say certain things, but I'll explain it. I think that it's people that group wise, like people that would do something for somebody else. That's all.
With red hair and green eyes. Last seen wearing a blue shirt, denim shorts, and Hey Dude shoes. If you have any information on the women,
Hey, Virginia,
I ask that you please call the Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation at 1-800-522-8017.
Straight out to John Elwood, Manatee County Search and Rescue. Go ahead, John.
Nancy, the new information being revealed about the broken window on the driver's side of the vehicle could provide a valuable clue. When glass breaks, especially you figure they're driving at speed, it may fly into the person's face, cutting them. One way you could find out if a person was injured is by the use of a human remains detection canine, that those dogs are trained to alert on the most microscopic amounts of blood. It may not be visible to the naked eye, but the dog would be able to smell that and then show an alert. And then that gives you another piece of the puzzle if the person or persons were injured.
Wow, good point. Guys, there is another piece of the puzzle we must address. Take a
So
listen
be
to
it.
Sydney Sumner, Crime Online.
Butler's co-parenting relationship with her ex, Wrangler Rickman, breaks down in 2019 and custody arrangements shift dramatically. Most recently, Butler's 2 children are mainly in the care of their paternal grandmother, Tiffany Adams, due to Rickman losing interest in his parenting responsibilities. Rickman is also in the midst of several legal issues. He was charged with 2 counts of domestic assault and battery in late February. Despite those charges being dismissed, Rickman was last in court March 7th in regards to a felon in possession of a weapon conviction. He was expected to report for inpatient rehab in Oklahoma City on March 22nd for 6 months of treatment, possibly ruling him out as a suspect in Butler and Kelly's disappearance.
Good Lord in heaven. Straight out to you, Kathleen Murphy, veteran trial lawyer in domestic relations. That was a mouthful from Sydney Sumner. Did you hear all that? All that as it relates
Hear
to
it every
Veronica
day.
Butler, age 27, X. The X is nothing but trouble. Ladies, if you're listening, there's a lot of men out there. Don't pick one out of all the men that has a rap sheet. Just trust me on that. Back to you, Kathleen Murphy. Did you hear this? The one that got my attention the most is felon in possession
Virginia.
of a firearm. That means he's already a convicted felon. Then he has a gun. He's not supposed to have a gun. Again, he has not been named a person of interest or a suspect. However, we also have learned he was expected to report for rehab on March 22 for 6 months. He could be ruled out just based on this. So, okay, all that in mind, weigh in, Kathleen.
Absolutely. I heard that he is in rehab for 6 months. I also read that there are other family members on the father's side that may have an interest in stopping some of this visitation.
Well, you know what, Kathleen Murphy, let's look at what we know. Nicole Parton, this was an arranged birthday party. The moms were having to drive 45 minutes to get there. They were supposed to meet up with the grandma and the children for the pickup at the trading post at Four Corners Trading Post. So this was arranged. Who knew they were going there? Who would have possibly intercepted them? Or was this just some random carjacking or a random attack by some other creepy dude that we don't know? That's less likely, but entirely possible. Nicole, tell me about the setup for the birthday party. And would you really take not only the mom and the friend?
What we know is that a court order had been signed by a judge in family court saying that Veronica could have supervised visits with the children. And those were arranged by a judge. And Veronica was to travel to this Four Corners Trading Post. That was the legal required meeting spot for the pickup of the children. We know that the grandmother was allowed to be there. The grandmother's live-in boyfriend was allowed to be there. Veronica and Veronica's friend, Jillian, is also named in this court document saying that Veronica's friend Jillian is to be there for these supervised visits. So all of those individuals knew about the meeting place. Whether they had told other friends and family members, we don't know. But there is legal documentation in family court that this was ordered by a judge. This meeting place on this date with these people involved.
Let me ask you something. The grandma was supposed to meet them at Four Corners Trading Post. Is that the paternal?
No, Clue. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it's the mother was going to take the kids to a birthday party. The grandmother has custody and did not want to hand these kids over to the mother. The father's in rehab. The grandmother knows people, okay, and she's important per se. I guess you could call it that. And she did not want to hand these kids over. They were 10 minutes out from getting to their destination, and this happens, and they disappear. Hey, JC, good to see you. Right, definitely, JC. So that's what I'm saying. And the mother was to her visitation was supervised as well. And this, I do believe that Jillian was the one to be set up to do her supervised visitation. Oh, well, yeah, they had their issues, Clues. I get that. You know, that's why she had custody, lost it, got it back, lost it, things like that. There's something going on. I get it. But the point here is the grandmother did not want to hand the kids over. And I think it's related to that. Okay. Truly, I truly feel that. I don't think it even had anything to do with drugs at that point. I just think it was because the grandmother was just so adamant on not giving the kids over. You know what I mean? It's the way it looks, at least.
Paternal grandma or the maternal grandma? Is it
paternal.
Veronica's grandma? What?
It is the paternal. It is the father's mother, the father of the children.
And that's the point right there. Why I think that, because the father, the grandmother, you know what I mean? That's part of the reason why I think so. So
You mean the guy with the big rap sheet? It's his mom?
Yes, ma'am.
Dr. Nicole Vienna joining us, forensic psychologist at
no. It's the father's mother is the one that has the custody of the kids and don't want to hand them over. I'm going to show you a document as soon as we're done with this. Hold on.
and CEO of Vienna Psychological Group. Dr. Nicole, weigh in.
Well, I think the custody issue brings up a interesting point to this whole story because we know that custody arrangements are generally prone to conflict, right? And that's partly because of the high emotions that are involved behind there. The children are usually the last tie between the parents, and so when we see things like prior sexual abuse allegations in the background, we're going to suspect, danger. One party's going to be upset with the other, and they're going to maybe act in ways that aren't well thought out, reckless, impulsive, and we do know that the ex-spouse.
She did have issues too. They both did. Both mother and father had some issues, but the father's grandmother is the powerful one, I'll call her. She's the one that has, I don't know exactly what. There's things that the mother had issues with, blah, blah, blah. But it all goes back to, in my opinion, the paternal grandmother, again, wanting to have the power and wanting to not hand these kids over, period. That's all there is to it. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, that's just my opinion.
Does have a history of substance abuse. He's like you mentioned, he is a felon, he carries a gun. We know that there was foul play with the car. So tying it all together, it kind of makes you wonder if the ex was concerned for his children, not thinking very clearly, and maybe waiting and looking for mom and friend to come by, and something just terrible happened. So I really suspect that this is due to this custody dispute and the high emotions that are involved and the impulsivity that goes along with people that are involved in these disputes.
And of course, John Elwood, Deputy Chief, Manatee County Search and Rescue. If it looks like a duck, walks like a duck,
Hey, little
acts
bit.
like a duck, it is a duck. However, before we throw all the blame on the ex, I'm not so sure about that. This needs a lot more investigation because if he was in rehab at the time this went down, it's not him. But I agree with Dr. Nicole. That's the first place you look. But John, that's always the first place you look is at the ex.
Yes, ma'am. You usually have the list of potential suspects, so to speak, or persons of interest. The fact that if they did determine the window was indeed shot out and the former spouse had firearm possessions of a felon, they can also use, dogs are trained to do many different tasks. You could bring in a firearms canine that can check for gun residue. You can check for the presence of a firearm. And then, the wax paraffin test that you can use to check to see if somebody has gunshot residue on their hands or clothing. So I'm sure that there's a lot of pieces that the police and the investigating agencies haven't released that would bring more clarity to the situation.
Guys, we've been showing you the photos of the two missing moms, Veronica Butler, age 27, and Jillian Kelly in her 30s. They're not the only victims. Between them, they have 6 children. And in my experience prosecuting major felonies, investigating and reporting on them my entire career, there's no replacement for your mother. 6 children between them, wondering, where's mom? Won't you help us? Tip line 800-522-8017. There's still time to bring them home alive. Let's stop and remember American hero, Deputy Sheriff Jeremy Malone, shot in the line of duty, Beaumont, Michigan. Deputy Sheriff Jeremy Malone leaves behind beautiful wife Hillary and 3 daughters, Abby, Olivia, and Brooklyn, now serving a life sentence without their dad. We remember American hero, Deputy Sheriff Jeremy Malone. A big thank you to our guests, but especially to you for being with us tonight and every night.
All right, thanks, Nancy. Hold on a minute here, folks. All right, so here's a document, okay? Let me see here. Let's see if I can blow it up a little bit for you guys. And I'll be working on getting more stuff. I wasn't 100% organized with this more as I wanted to be. So Wrangler Cole Rickman was the defendant, and that's the state of Oklahoma. Okay. Maybe a little bit more. Sorry, guys. There we go. Personal recognizance appearance bond. Okay, so this was the court papers. And all this is, I don't know if you guys know what a personal recognizance bond is when somebody gets put in jail and they're able to sign themselves out based on their signature, personal recognizance, okay? Or they have a bond, that's the bond. And this is the good Lord, sorry folks, I can't think. The rehab thing, okay? In consideration of such release, this is the reasoning, like this is what he had to agree to not go to jail, basically. Is either go to jail or go to this. So I hereby agree to appear in person in said court within 72 hours of release, departure for any reason, inpatient treatment at Salvation Army, Oklahoma City, blah, blah, blah. So that's where it was. And obviously, if he doesn't go because it's court ordered, then he's going to go and do the jail time. Okay, so the defendant shall report to the treatment facility for successful completion of a not less than 6 months inpatient alcohol substance. So 6 months, no contact with anyone. Immediately notify court of the defendant's release. So this person can sign himself out, but he better run like hell because as soon as he does, they're going to come take him to jail. Okay, that's basically all this says. The defendant's released and or departure from said treatment facility under any circumstances and shall direct the facility to provide reports to this court every 30 days concerning the defendant's treatment and recovery process, thereby waiving my privacy rights, okay? The defendant shall report within 72 hours of release or departure from the jail or court or any reason from the treatment facility, but no later than 5 p.m. on the 25th of September, 2024. And of course, all that other fun stuff. And that's the stated, stamped, and all that fun stuff. March 21st. So there's other stuff that I had read earlier too, but I don't know what the truth is on that or behind that because there's nothing to prove that stuff as of right now. Okay. So, hold on a minute here. I'm going to try something else too. Let me see. If it'll load for me. Hang on, guys. I'm trying to find something here. Nope. Okay, 1 second here. Oh, 100% Big Virginia. I can almost, yeah, I truly feel that's what it was. Let me see something here. And that's partially how that is too. So the Jillian, the passenger, the friend, to the mother, is the way it states it in here is basically acting as a court official, supervising an out-of-state custody exchange. Would this not fall under FBI jurisdiction also, since there are 4 states that join, and these women could be in any one of those or other places? I would imagine the FBI should be brought in, because I'm going to guess that they could have been taken across state lines at any point. Okay. Also, is Oklahoma or Kansas the presiding state over the kids? Were they lawfully living out of state? Okay, that's a good point. 4 days of the victim's vehicle, investigators believe there was evidence to indicate foul play, so they definitely believe that at that point.
Celebration, but they never made it to getting to the kids. The kids, I'm told, they're okay, no people at risk, but Veronica and Jillian are still missing. And the part that's really peculiar, of course, about all things, if you've been following the headlines here, is that the vehicle they were in, Veronica's vehicle, was found in this rural area on the road over in the across the state line into northwest Oklahoma, so the Panhandle area. Just super rural area. I was looking at Google Maps, trying to navigate through that part of the state, and I was like, gosh, what had happened? What went on with their disappearance? And so we're entering day 4, and people are asking what's going on. I had a lot of people asking questions. I did get a chance, if you looked at my videos on TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and a conversation with the Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation. And they told me, basically all of the kind of what we call the nuts and bolts, like those just simple facts of, last seen Saturday, vehicle over on this rural part of the state, all these different things. I've had some follow-up conversations with the OSBI to see, well, what's going on and are people at risk? And there's other things that have taken place too. One, I'm told that the community is not at risk, at least from the OSBI and their perspective. I will say that the school district, so there's a school not too far from where their vehicle was found, they did go on basically like a lockdown situation. So they have it basically schools going on and everything, but they're not letting people kind of like in and out of the building, sort of.
No clue. This is literally out in the middle of nowhere, like way, way out in the middle of nowhere. Very, very, very rural country dirt road with fields all around it. There's nothing around. Okay, so it would be very easy to pull up on this car, stop the car in the middle of the road, get out, and demand people to do certain things or worse. Okay, without so much as one person seeing it, possibly, depending on where that area was. And to me, it almost looks like it was calculated. Like they waited until there were no homes or anything around this area, almost as if they were being watched or followed. And they waited till that car got right in that specific spot where there's nothing really around it, and that's when they jumped in and did what they were doing. Yeah, and that's true. That's what was said earlier, was that there's not even cell phone reception in this area. It's that rural. Were there guests invited to the party? I don't know. I'd have to go look. I never actually looked to see any details about the party itself. But that's my thought, is that this was wholeheartedly premeditated. I think, like I said, they were being watched in some form and or followed, or they knew the route that was going to be taken to get to this area. So they may have had somebody in that realm of area waiting for, like I said, waiting for this car to get into that specific area, knowing that it's not going to be able to be seen by anything, to do what they had to do. That's my thought on this, honestly. Highway 95 and Road L, Oklahoma. To answer your question, Clue, probably, I'm sure there was guests, but they need to pick the kids up and then go back to have the party. And again, the key point to this is the grandmother did not want the kids to go. Period. She didn't want them to go. Gwen says the town has about 267 people living there. Yeah, it's very small. It very much was. Grandma wanted to meet at that specific location and didn't want her on her property. See, that's what I'm saying. And then the location was changed en route, from my understanding. So that's a whole different. Like I said, that's a strange thing to me. Yeah, I will pull this up on Google Maps here in a minute. I have to get the exact location pinpointed so that I can get the right address spot on the map. So, but so yeah, this is definitely a dastardly situation. I mean, without even looking at it twice. Do we know what, Vix? Yeah, I'll show you that clue. I'll send it to you or show you here after the fact. But it's pretty interesting. You might understand it more at that point, I guess. I don't know. They were taking the kids. They were taking. Apparently, the preacher and another pastor went looking for them when they didn't show up for the party. Right. Okay.
Situation, walk out is maybe the best way to phrase it. They're just taking as much of a precaution with the situation there, just to make sure that everyone's safe. And that's certainly understandable, but certainly it's raised some eyebrows as to what's happened and people just asking even more questions. You know, when I talked to the OSBI about this case, I asked, is there a threat to the community? How was the vehicle found? All these other questions that have popped up a lot on social media. Again, no threat to the community. They didn't elaborate as to how the vehicle was found, other than it was found. And they didn't elaborate on specifics with the relationship of these ladies and going to the area.
I don't think
the
so.
Church, one of their churches has said that basically the women are acquaintances, and one was just.
I don't know for a fact that.
I found some interesting information online and working to confirm it, but really we can only report certain things that are relevant to an investigation and things that we can confirm that would be valid to share with the public. There's been a lot of speculation as for Veronica and her ex and what has happened with, the custody of their kids and their relationship and, things that he's faced and everything legally and such and criminally, if there is anything to focus on there. And there's nothing that I can share with you today about that, because nothing, at least from what I'm told, speaking to investigators from, and I've spoken to, contacted Hugoton Police, the Texas County Sheriff's Office, where the county where the vehicle was found, and the OSBI, which is the lead and pretty much is where I need to go to with a case like this. And nothing that I've asked about they say nothing is pertinent to the investigation, or nothing they can confirm with the investigation. But I will say the OSBI has been very good with us with getting details almost instantly. If I contact them, I get as much information as they can share pretty quickly. So I'm really grateful for that. Certainly.
Okay, Molly. As soon as this is over, thank you, dear.
I want to share at least this perspective with you of what I'm doing. And I'm working on stuff every day, reaching out to different people and just trying to give you all the very latest and make this story, at least for me as an advocate for missing people, as I've shared thousands of stories with missing in Kansas over the past 6 years. Keeping a story in the headlines is really important to closing a case. And these women are so fortunate to have so many people. I mean, they had a vigil this week. They've had people at their churches, and within this community of about not even 4,000 people. I'm just really rallying around them, trying to figure out what happened to them and if they're okay, making sure that other people in the community are okay. We're going to stay on top of this. I have a few more phone calls I'd like to make today, and in the coming days, hopefully I don't even have to make them. I'd love to see a resolution.
Or Bobby, the butt of a gun or a bullet piercing the glass. Either way, it would break that. That's my opinion.
Solution with this case as soon as possible, but I just wanted to let you know what I'm working on with this, and if you do have questions, feel free to share them with me and any comments on any of the social media threads that you're seeing this video on. You know, I try to answer things as best I can. Again, I can only share what we can confirm and things that are really relevant to the investigation. A lot of chatter on the internet certainly right now, but again, if we can keep that conversation going, I think that's just the most important thing, because I think for Jillian, Veronica, their families, they just want to find them and they want to bring them home safe. I appreciate you all being with me with this candid conversation here about my perspective as a storyteller, and hopefully you can keep sharing this story, whether it's this video, other things that you see online. But just keep in mind though, some of the stuff that you see on social media may not be the most accurate, or it may be a smidge of the truth. And so I just think it's really important to lean on journalists like myself. We go through this vetting process. We want to make sure things are accurate and fair. And that's what I'm trying to do here, being as transparent as I can about this investigation that's really captured the heart of so many.
Take care, Virginia. Thanks for joining us. Okay. A moment here. Again, Veronica Butler and Jillian Kelly are the names. Let me go back to this Facebook thing here. Absolutely, Bobby.
Veronica's ex's mother had custody of her kids. We don't know why. We don't know the circumstances. But Veronica did have supervised visitation. Now, the supervisor of Veronica's visitation was her friend Jillian Kelly. That is why both of these women were traveling together on Saturday when they were going to Oklahoma. But while they were taking this trip, something went terribly wrong because they have not been seen since Saturday.
Good point.
So from what we're being told, where they were traveling from Kansas to Oklahoma, it was only supposed to be about 16 miles. Now, their blue small SUV was found abandoned about 3 miles from where they were going. Police are saying that the last cell phone ping was actually at the same location where the car was abandoned. And they're saying that they didn't find their belongings in the car, but they don't know if these two have their belongings on them. Now, something else to point out is police are not saying if they have mechanical issues with the car, if maybe something happened that made them pull over and get out of the car. But y'all, this is extremely strange. So
Sorry, I had that open. I fixed it though. My apologies.
a little background about Jillian, which is the 39-year-old friend that was accompanying Veronica. She is also a mother and she is a preacher's wife. Now, the reason why this is so significant is remember that Sunday was Easter Sunday.
Take care, Mama Bear. Thank you.
Something had to go wrong for Jillian not to make it back home by Easter Sunday, knowing that she's a preacher's wife. Now, y'all, a judge has issued a gag order in this case, and they don't want any other details released.
Now, that there in itself says a whole lot to me. The fact that there's a gag order on this already. That's come on now, okay? That's interesting as all hell to me. So just remember that is all I'm saying.
But the Oklahoma Bureau of Investigations has gotten involved in this case. Now, like I said before, there's not a lot of information. We don't know why Veronica didn't have custody of her kids, but we did find out that there was an upcoming hearing in this custody battle on April 17th. Now, y'all, that's not to say that this whole situation has something to do with this custody battle. These women could have easily had an issue with the car. There could have been something else going on, and something else could have happened to these women, y'all. It doesn't necessarily mean that it has something to do with the custody battle.
To Oklahoma to pick up children last week, but they never made it. Texas County, Oklahoma sheriff's deputies found their car abandoned south of Elkhart Saturday. Law enforcement calls the circumstances of their disappearance suspicious.
So also, y'all, the person that they were supposed to meet in order to get these kids say that they never made it to their pickup location. Now, remember, from where the car was, they were only 3 miles away from where they were supposed to be. And as of right now, that is all the information we have in this case. Now, y'all, I find it strange that a judge issued a gag order so soon simply because this just happened on Saturday. Now that
That's an interesting theory, Victoria. Could be right on track. She doesn't show up for court. He gets full custody. Interesting, isn't it?
it lets you know that this case is very sensitive and there has to be more information that police know, and they don't want to ruin this case. Now, in my opinion, I honestly think that something happened while they were traveling. Some people pointed out that they could have picked up a hitchhiker, but you have to remember that their car was found abandoned and they were not in the car. So if they picked up a hitchhiker, I'm thinking the hitchhiker would have taken the car as well. Now, when I first saw this story, I instantly thought that maybe they had car troubles, tried to get help from somebody, and then ran into a bad person. It's either that for me, or it might have something to do with their custody. Something in this situation really, really stinks, you guys. Make sure you blow this up, share this. Let's bring these 2 women home to their kids.
I'm guessing that the gag order is on everybody involved, to be honest with you. That would only make sense. And since these 2 are missing, I'm guessing it would be the probably the grandmother and probably mostly law enforcement, I'm gonna guess. Mostly because anybody else wouldn't make much sense. So I knew that was coming. Thank you, Molly. Hold on a minute here. Let me get this. So just to show you guys how rural this is. Look at this. This is where the car was found, okay? There's nothing around here, you guys. There's nothing at all. You see the road, okay? Way over here, and then up here, but there's nothing around this. Nothing at all. So, like I said, to me, it looks like they waited until this car got out into the middle of absolute nowhere, and boom. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it's sad. They were literally like 10 minutes away. But I beg to wonder how. Why gag though, assuming it was paid for. I mean, to keep it all hush hush because they're watching somebody. I'm guessing that law enforcement has their eye on somebody hard, and they don't want nothing talked about because they're obviously, you know how that works. You spook the person, their case is ruined. So, thank you, Molly. That shows though. Like to me, when I saw initially where the area was, I very highly believe this was premeditated. They waited till this situation, the car got here. They're completely out in the middle of nowhere where there's nobody around to see or hear anything, and boom. And then off they go. You see what I'm saying? So, just saying, everybody, it's quite crazy. Sorry, guys. Hold on, I'm trying to get back to something in particular. I can imagine what's on Reddit, honestly, Tomboy. Some of the comments in the Facebook groups are basically is what Reddit would probably be like, in my opinion. Cabo, it all adds up. She doesn't show up for this, and that doesn't make it to the custody hearing. Bingo. Bingo. Do you know what I mean? But it would really be nice to be able to pray that's not the outcome to this is not as horrible as what I believe it could be. Again, thank you, Zelda. Gag order requires the court. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm sure that they hurried up and put that out there because I'm telling you, I believe that they have an idea who this is. I really do. Hey, Draw, good to see you tonight. Thank you for joining us. It's more than okay, Draw. No worries. Yeah, and that's what I mean. They're not. If there's a real gag order on this, they're not messing around, guys. They're watching somebody. Okay, period. Well, of course, that's just how it looks too. And if the dad's in rehab, that means grandma's in charge of everything. And you know, there's some other stuff to this too that's dark. But you know, I'm not gonna throw that out there at this point until there's something else that's put out. So, oh, okay. They asked the family not to speak to media. That's different. Well, maybe that's what she was referring to then in that sense. I don't know. I'd like to see some form of documentation prove or disapproving on that too. So I don't know. Anyway, this is, in my opinion, a lot more cut and dry than some of the other stuff we've looked at based on what the facts are so far. It just says, you know what I mean? It reads like a book in some ways. So, but I wanted to bring this to you guys to show you what's going on with this because I've been trying to for days now, and I just keep getting so wrapped up with Sebastian's case that it keeps slipping. You know, I haven't done it, but I'm gonna continuously be following this as well too. Again, the names here. Let me show that to you for those of you that aren't maybe didn't see it. Veronica Butler, which is the mother, and then Jillian Kelly, who is the pastor's wife and the supervised court appointed supervisor. I'm sorry. Oh, okay then. Gotcha, Salty. That makes sense then. Does anybody know how long Grandma has had custody? That's a good question. I was actually gonna try to look into that myself. She's 27 with red hair, green eyes, blue short sleeve, short spice. Okay, 5'4". And then I'm not sure. I'm gonna guess that the father's like right around that age too. I did hear it once early on when I was watching or reading something that I had read in a Facebook group, and I don't remember which Facebook account it was in. It's 3 different ones I was looking at. Salty, do you know how old the father was by chance? I haven't. That's the thing that Paula, I haven't seen any searches other than like 1 or 2 local people. That one woman that was out on a horse and a couple other people. That's it. There's like no searches that I've seen. This is crazy. Give me 1 second, folks. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. I'm back. You're insane, Clue. Ass hat. There you go. You got your ass hat for the night. But I'm gonna continue to bring this to you guys anytime there's any updates. Like I said, this is a pretty crazy scenario. It's a lot more simple to me to break down than what we've been looking at recently. It's still a mystery, of course, but it's a lot more in my mind. I mean, you can make this a lot more cut and dry as far as the thought process on it. Let me see something here. And like I said, there's updates on this are null and void. Like there's nothing like really of any substance that's new, you know. Other than the whole foul play thing. Let me double check to make sure I don't have anything else. They're still saying that as of a day ago, community searches for answers 4 days ago. Right. There's nothing. Search underway. I haven't seen any searches like with what Sebastian and stuff like that. Now, I guess this would be the most recent. I think I showed this, but yeah, this is the most recent update that I've seen on this. Just so you guys know.
Evan Abby, that's right. And as you just mentioned, this case has really captured the attention of so many people all over the nation. The two missing women have been gone since Saturday, and now OSBI says this case is their primary focus.
It's our number one priority right now for our agents to find these women as quickly as they possibly can.
Time is of the essence for OSBI as they continue their investigation into the suspicious disappearance of 27-year-old Veronica Butler and 39-year-old Jillian Kelly.
As the days and the hours go by, it becomes more and more challenging and more difficult.
Law enforcement says Butler was traveling from Kansas to Texas County in the Panhandle to pick up her children. Kelly was in the car with her, but the two never showed up. A sheriff's deputy found their truck in a rural area of Texas County on Saturday. The two women nowhere to be found.
Not a lot of buildings, not a lot of homes, no cameras. It's made it extremely challenging, but that's why we stress again that if you know something, please say something.
Right, Jersey girl. That's all. The only one I've seen, really.
OSBI said they found evidence pointing to foul play in the abandoned vehicle.
The evidence that was in the vehicle, was around the vehicle, the condition of the vehicle, all of that is still under investigation at this time.
This is the same one I showed some of you guys earlier. That some of you that weren't in here. This is the newest update. So once I play through this is it, guys.
This case gaining national attention on social media, people sharing their thoughts, and OSBI says in some cases wrong information.
It makes it challenging because we're having to navigate through information that just isn't true.
Still, OSBI is asking anyone with information to please come forward.
We need more. I mean, this is something that as it continues, our investigators need as much information as we can possibly get.
And OSBI telling me today, despite false rumors and claims on social media, there have been no arrests in this case. Reporting live, Zach Royale, KOCO 5 News.
Now, I'm going to say, Paula, unfortunately, I think they know already, which is why they're asking people not to talk. And I think that they're watching somebody, okay? I think they're just probably waiting to put this case together to be able to do what they got to move in on what they have to do. So that's my guess on this, folks, honestly. So I think that's going to do it for tonight, you guys. I will be here tomorrow with updates on everything. So that's my thought a little bit. I really do think that on updates on anything I can get updates on, guys, and whatever else we get into. I think that they know and they are just waiting to make their arrest. That's, again, my point, too. Gotcha. So I thank you guys for tuning in with me tonight again. And thank you guys for all the kind words earlier. You guys are amazing. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. And I know that my son's off. They have no school tomorrow for the eclipse. So I think there's a lot of people. I'm not going to be out there looking at it. I don't want nothing to do with it. Nothing at all. I'm just going about my day. It's just another day as far as I'm concerned. Thank you, little bit. I appreciate you very much. So, and again, Paige, thank you for that information and what you had to say. That made my whole week. Something along those lines, Salty, is what I was thinking. They're trying to put everything together and, clues, forensics, whatever, and boom. And that's why they're kind of quiet about it, because they don't want to spook anybody. If they're on to somebody, they're not trying to spook that person, because I'm sure that person is being real, or persons are being real itchy right now, for lack of better terms. So thank you, Lucy. And love you as well, Paige. Please give your husband a big hug from all of us. And once again, you guys will stay in our thoughts and prayers always. That goes to all of you. Thank you, Nana. I'm not sure, Jamie. I don't know much about that person at all. So I will look into it, though. I will definitely look into it. So good deal, Vix. Have a wonderful night. Get some sleep. The rest of you guys, please don't forget to love yourselves, to love each other. Guys, please, please, please don't change a thing about yourselves, because you guys are amazing. And you are the reason why I do this. Moderators, thank you for everything. Oh, hold on a minute. One second. Let me check something real quick. Oh, okay. Thank you guys for everything that you do for the channel. So are you, Paige. Thank you very much for that. Everyone have a wonderful rest of your night. I will be here tomorrow. God bless you all, and have a great night. And I will see you guys very soon. Good night, folks. Thank you, Doodle. I gotcha.